spin just a little bit more, and that's how you could get one of these little spin-ups that we've been telling you about that was an option on the table in terms of our severe weather modes. So we'll keep an eye on that. But again, for you folks over towards Elmo and down towards near and west of Nottoway, right along 136, that's the area that we're kind of concerned about. There have been some confirmed touchdowns just across the border, and we've got tornado warnings up in Iowa. And there are other tornado warnings out towards the west of Topeka. But for us, at least, we're just worried about this little small-ish area up there towards the western portion, west central, northwestern portion of Nottoway County in far northwest Missouri. They've also, kind of see this flashing yellow, that represents a very large severe thunderstorm warning. And this is probably something that's going to happen here in the metro, I think, over the next couple of hours when those storms on the Kansas side get into Kansas City. They're just going to issue one of these, I call it a blanket warning, covers everybody for the potential of some of these stronger winds. So that's probably coming towards us in just a couple of more hours, if not a little bit less than that. But that's a pretty good raging line of thunderstorms. And there's probably some localized flooding going on. This is right along I-29 from Corning to near Watson. Watson had some quarter-size hail a little while ago. And again, our tornado warning continues for about another 2.5 minutes. I have not seen, Jacob, have you seen anything? Have they talked about extending that warning at all?
No updates for that in northwest Missouri morning.
Okay, good. That's what I like to hear. But again, as we go further down the line with this, I just want to kind of give you an idea. You know, nothing coming our way on the north side or northwest side for a little while longer. So if you need to run a couple of errands in Effingham or Atchison or Valley Falls, Oskaloosa, over towards Easton and Weston, you're fine. You're fine for the next couple of hours. Well, maybe at least the next hour to hour and a half. But eventually we're going to deal with this activity as it comes closer to you over the next couple of hours, and that's going to be the activity that impacts the metro. Again, we've had a confirmed touchdown near Eskridge or close to it. We've got a broken line of thunderstorms, and that's a pretty impressive line of thunderstorms that goes from near St. Mary's all the way down towards Allen, Kansas, to near Emporia, and then it stretches backwards towards Clifford, around Matefield Green and Doyle, and there's Hillsborough right there. There's Newton developing down the line, and this activity will be moving off towards the east-northeast. So this particular cluster of severe thunderstorms will probably affect areas more south of Kansas City. This cluster of thunderstorms out there towards St. Mary's and down towards Eskridge, that'll affect probably more areas along the I-70 corridor. And then we've got that other cluster of thunderstorms up here towards southeast Nebraska, and that's going to affect areas up across far northwestern portions of Missouri. So I'm going to stop this radar loop very quickly and just do a long, drawn-out storm track for you, and everything moving pretty much east or just a little bit north of due east. So Maryville heading your way by about 7 o'clock. Creston, that's up in Iowa. Stanberry by about 7:50. Over towards New Hampton by about 8:20. So that gives you an idea with this line of thunderstorms coming out of Nebraska, already up into northwest Missouri and moving through areas north of 36, but particularly up there towards the 136 corridor, up there towards the Iowa border. So that's a little bit of a time reference for you as you continue to kind of watch these storms evolve during the course of the evening. Our tornado warning continues for about another second or two. We're going to allow that to expire. So let's go ahead and now send it off to Wheel of Fortune, and we'll send our coverage now to WDAF Plus, our streaming channel. Okay. For those of you watching us on our streaming channel, WDAF Plus, we're providing continuous coverage right now for areas up towards northwest Missouri, where we have seen a tornado warning that expired just a couple of minutes ago. Thankfully, no reports of any touchdowns up there, but we have a large area of severe thunderstorm warnings that continue now for northwestern portions of Missouri. These are approaching the Burlington Junction area, over towards Corning, around Fairfax. Gusty winds seem to be probably the main issue with these storms, but more importantly, the tornado warning has been canceled for Nottoway County. Maryville was never in that tornado warning, but the west central portion of Nottoway County was, and that warning now has been dropped as of about a minute ago. But these are pretty feisty thunderstorms producing potentially some severe weather. New tornado warning coming out as we speak. And let's see, that's going to be for Douglas County. So we're going to need to get back on the air. So if you're listening to us in the back, we need to get back on Fox 4 as quickly as we can. It's a sliver, a very small sliver of northwestern portions of Douglas County. It's just literally
An update, Joe, maybe? Or
a sliver. Maybe we'll do a little update on Fox 4 and then send it back to Wheel of Fortune.
For a few minutes?
Yeah. So if you can tell me in the back when we're on Fox 4, that would be great. Okay, I guess we're on Fox 4. All right, so we're balancing WDAF Plus and Fox 4, our over-the-air commitment. We're going to try to get to Wheel of Fortune here very quickly. A new tornado warning came out that does include Topeka, but it also includes just a sliver of the northwestern portion of Douglas County. All right, just a sliver of it. There's Lecompton. This concerns the storms that are off towards the west of Topeka that are moving off towards the east. For those of you who have been watching up across northern Missouri, your tornado warning has been dropped. That expired a couple of minutes ago. But again, we're watching these storms that are coming out of the Eskridge area. There have been some confirmed tornadoes out here. All right, so, you know, these storms do mean business, and they're moving off towards the east-northeast. Again, there's Topeka. We're not worried about Topeka locally here. They've got their own TV stations there. But you could see this little sliver of the northwestern corner of Douglas County is under that tornado warning. And we'll do a couple of quick little updates on this, and then we're going to send it right back to Wheel of Fortune. So the area of concern is right in through here, and with that speed of movement towards the east, maybe a little bit east-northeast, that would take it towards Topeka by about 6:54, Fairview by about 7:13. And if things hold together, 45 minutes from now, Lecompton, which is right there. So that's what's going on out to our west. For those of you in the Douglas County area, this is north and west of Clinton, it's just a little bit of a sliver of Douglas County under that tornado warning. All right, Fox 4, let's send you back to Wheel of Fortune. And for those of you watching on WDAF Plus, we'll continue to provide coverage of the storms coming out of Kansas and the storms up in northern Missouri. Okay, let's pick it up on WDAF Plus right now. We are now back with Wheel of Fortune over the air with such a teeny tiny sliver of the northwest portion of Douglas County under that tornado warning. We'll go ahead and let the folks watch Wheel of Fortune, and we'll watch that storm. Again, this is an area that is just borderline our viewing area, right there, right along that county line. So that's why we made that decision. But for you in Lecompton, if you live in Clinton, over here up into Jefferson County, you know, we're watching you. You know, we're keeping an eye on this. It does include the extreme southwest tip of Jefferson County as well. So if you're watching us now on WDAF Plus, that's one of the storms that we're watching as it comes out of the state of Kansas. Again, it's a tornado warning, but it's radar indicated rotation right now over towards eastern Kansas. For northern Missouri, these storms are pretty beefy, and they're producing, no doubt, torrential rains, tons of lightning. But these are right now severe warned. In other words, no noteworthy areas of rotation showing up at this point. And we continue to have this severe thunderstorm warning for the northwestern portion of Missouri. And that's probably going to go for at least the next half hour, if not the next 45 minutes or so. Let's get over to meteorologist Jacob Lanier. Jacob.
Okay, Joe, thanks. So we have kind of this line now of severe thunderstorms that actually has several tornado warnings out in central Kansas, right along approaching I-335 there, south of Topeka. And those three warnings are all kind of associated with this big, we call it an MCS. That's a mesoscale convective system, or just kind of a fancy word for a big cluster of organized storms. And that's what has really formed along the dry line out in Kansas this evening. So we're providing updates because the tornado warnings out here near Topeka are clipping Douglas County. We have a tornado watch for Lawrence, Ottawa until 9 p.m. Severe thunderstorm watch here in the KC Metro until midnight. And we're expecting this line of severe winds with possibly a tornado or two to slowly move in our direction. Right now, the movement's around 40 miles per hour, so that still kind of keeps it, we'll say, at about, say, 2 to 3 hours away, I think, from a good chunk of the metro. Maybe 8 to 9 p.m. has been kind of our arrival time. I did want to point out that down just south of Council Grove, in the last 5 minutes, we've had a spotter confirm a tornado on the ground there. So north of Emporia, Agnes City, along 56 Highway there, that is a confirmed tornado. This is a radar indicated tornado approaching Topeka with that tornado warning. And then there's the other tornado warning down near Cottonwood Falls. So kind of this line of winds, a lot of lightning, rain with a couple of embedded tornadoes. So I want to focus really kind of on the Topeka storm because that's what's going to track closer to our area and possibly pass just north of Lawrence. So if there's a tornado in this storm, right now it's going to be near Dover, Kansas, and this is K4 coming into the west side of Topeka. So maybe you're watching WDF Plus from out in Lawrence or Topeka, or here in the metro you have friends or family or folks that you care about out near Topeka. They need to be taking their tornado precautions because they're under this tornado warning until 7:15. So that's kind of a big population center as this rotational kind of bring it from Dover right up K4 through Topeka if that holds together. And I will put a little timeline track on this for you because this is moving north at about 40 miles per hour. The rotation is near Dover. This is tracking northeast. It's why I think that if this still holds together, the rotation in this storm an hour from now, around 7:38, it'll probably pass a bit north of Lawrence. We'll want to certainly be watching it, but I think, say, Lecompton, Oskaloosa, in Jefferson County could be at a little bit of a higher risk of this tornado warning being extended downstream for rotation. Again, this is not even into Topeka yet, so it's something that we'll still have to watch over the next hour that could kind of continue to slowly move towards the metro. I'm still watching our tornado index here from Fox 4, and there are ingredients for rotation across eastern Kansas, Jefferson, Leavenworth, Douglas, down towards Ottawa, and even maybe parts of the west side of the metro if this complex holds together. We anticipate this to move into a line of damaging winds as it approaches the state line. But right now it's been kind of a broken cluster of thunderstorms with those tornado warnings out towards the west. I did want to give an update on future radar and kind of show you what that's going to look like as we head through this evening, especially for those of you watching here on WDF Plus in the KC Metro. Maybe you're on the Missouri side. So this is the line of storms in the next hour moving through Topeka. By 8 to 9 o'clock, that's on the state line near the KC Metro. Again, damaging winds, the primary threat with this, maybe 1 or 2 tornadoes. That risk would be kind of maximized, say, I-70 south, I think, on the Kansas side. And then by 10 o'clock, this will cross into Missouri. The line should be weakening as it moves into Missouri, but it still could have some gusty winds, maybe a quick spin up. Again, I think that risk is going to be a little higher south of I-70 where the moisture and instability a little bit more present. And then by midnight, this is moving into central Missouri and should be clearing out. So the threats with tonight's storms in the metro, damaging winds. Large hail is a lessening concern as these kind of come into a cluster of line of thunderstorms. The tornado risk is on the lower end, but as we've seen in Kansas, there's been a couple of brief touchdowns, and that's something we're going to have to watch as we go over the next couple of hours out towards the west. So tornado watch for Douglas, Franklin, Anderson counties until 9 p.m. Severe thunderstorm watch for the KC Metro, the state line, that's Butler, Lacine, Harrisonville, Paola, all the way into northern Missouri, and that severe watch goes until midnight. So right now, Joe, in our area, it's really severe thunderstorm warnings, that line of wind in northern Missouri. But we have to watch that rotation out near Topeka. I'm hoping that that does not hold together and maybe it'll start to form more of a wind line instead of those individual cells.
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed. I always get a little nervous as things evolve. You may have noticed how the clouds kind of cleared out or broke up considerably in the last about hour or two, that maybe we're getting a little quick burst of some instability even on top of the metro. So that's probably why when Jacob was showing you that tornado index, the parameters that we look for maybe for a tornado, that there's still some indications that we can't rule it out. Let's just say we can't rule it out, especially over on the Kansas side towards the west of Kansas City. The storm that's out to our west, the area rotation is not great. It's still doing maybe something, still getting reports from law enforcement out towards Wabunsee County, maybe a little area of rotation, and now maybe even a little report of a tornado, actually a report of a tornado. Lake Cahola, a lot of cabins affected, some completely demolished. Lake Cahola, to be honest with you, that's a new one on me, Lake Cahola. It's Council Grove, okay.
Yeah.
Some cabins out towards Lake Cahola, out by Council Grove, they've been hit by a tornado, and there has been some damage out there. So we're still watching this area of rotation, which is still just off towards the west of Topeka. Just for a little perspective for you, there's Topeka, and we're going about 20 miles west of Topeka. So that's an area of rotation that we'll watch. Hopefully it doesn't do anything more than just kind of be a radar indicated type of thing for that area. Then northern Missouri is still, an area that we need to watch. Tough to make out. Again, our radar beam is shooting so high with these storms, so it's really kind of tough to make out some of these areas of rotation. The radar up in Omaha is also shooting pretty high, but there are a couple of areas up there towards Holt County that I'm watching because, these storms are strong. There's no doubt about that, and they are moving off at a pretty good little clip up there towards the east. These storms that are down towards the west of Topeka, again, got a confirmed report of a tornado that's associated with that one cell that was down there, and you could see the difference in the shape. So let me kind of get a little pointer out here and show this to you. Notice this whole shape right in through there. Okay, so that's vastly different than what you notice in this little mishmash here. If there's something with this storm that's west of Topeka, just west of Topeka, it would probably be right about there. So again, that's why we continue to have this tornado warning out towards Shawnee County. And again, it does include the extreme northwestern tip of Douglas County right there. I mean, there's Lecompton. Lecompton, you are not in this. There's I-70. Again, this little sliver of the northwest corner of Douglas County is included, and the little sliver of southwestern Jefferson County included as well. This would be south and west of Fairview. This would be west of, 237, I believe. So just a little sliver of these two counties are in that tornado warning, in addition to Shawnee County, which is out towards Topeka's area. But again, if there's a little area of rotation to be concerned about, it would be just towards the north and east of Dover. That would be pretty much right along Highway 4, Kansas 4, out there near and just towards the east of Dover. And that, if that's something, that's going to be heading right into Topeka. So if you have any family or friends in the Topeka area, no doubt you do, some of you do, please make sure that they're aware of what's going on with this storm, all right, south of Silver Lake, all right, south of I-70. It would be right about there. That would be the most favored area for rotation. And if there was something going on, it would be right in through there towards the south and west of Topeka by about maybe 10, 15 miles or so. And as we put a track on this for you, and this is where it'll start getting a little bit more interesting for Jefferson County in particular, and maybe even right along the Kansas River. Due into towards Topeka by about 7:01, Meriden by about 7:18, Hillsdale over west of here, 7:25. So not Hillsdale, Kansas, or not Hillsdale close to us, that's Hilldale, I should say, over there towards the west of the metro. So this general area, that's the area that we're watching, south of Silver Lake. Here's 24, and that's down just towards the east of Dover. So just to kind of give you a little idea where we are compared to Dover. So there's Dover, and that area of rotation would be about 5 or 6 miles or so just towards the east of Dover. So again, Dover, you're okay with this. You might be getting some hail, which I'm going to take a look at here in just a second. But if there is a tornado, it's going to be now east of Dover, Kansas. And we did have a report, confirmed report, of tornadoes that or a tornado that did some damage down towards one of the lakes, Lake Cahola in particular. Lots of cabins affected, some completely demolished. That's according to KVOE Radio. Chuck, thank you for that. Also watching, these other little areas of rotation. Tornado warnings, though, do continue for that northwestern tip, the far northwestern tip of Douglas County and the far southwestern tip of Jefferson County. And that tornado warning will continue until 7:15, so for about another half hour or so. Area of rotation that I just highlighted for you, perhaps about 5 miles northeast of Dover, now moving off towards the east at roughly 40 miles an hour. But this is a storm that's all the way down there towards Agnes City and north of Americus in Kansas, and that's got a history of producing a damaging tornado. The storm that we've got right now, a little closer to Topeka, that does not have a history at this point of producing a tornado, but it's about 10 miles or so west-southwest of Topeka. So again, what you could do is just send a text or a quick phone call to anybody in that Topeka area to let them know that that area of rotation, maybe not confirmed on the ground, but at least on radar, that area of rotation. And that's pretty close to the radar site, so we're getting good sampling. The radar site is out there towards Alma. So pretty good representation of what that storm is doing. There's Topeka, again about 10 miles or so west-southwest of Topeka, and it's moving off towards the east at around 35, close to about 40 miles an hour. I'll quickly take you up towards the north, back up into northwestern Missouri, where we continue to have a powerful line of thunderstorms that are moving off towards the east. That's a whole squall line, and it means business. Haven't gotten too many reports of severe weather up there, at least not in a little while, but that's what prompted a tornado warning earlier up there towards Nottoway County. And I'm going to check now with my colleagues at the National Weather Service in Pleasant Hill. Train spotter up in Nottoway County reported perhaps some rotation. Keep an eye on that. 180th and Dynasty Road, that's near Burlington Junction. Maybe a little something going on up there towards Burlington Junction. Stand by. This is due up towards Mound City by about 6:49. Maryville 7:02. Oregon by about 7:09. Ravenwood 7:17. Just at this point expect a lot of wind. Stanberry, maybe some hail. Stanberry by about 7:38 and Darlington by about 7:51. And I just did a whole broad line track for you because this thing goes all the way up into Iowa, goes all the way down towards the west of Hiawatha. Jacob's been running around. Jacob.
Yeah, so I've been trying to pull up this camera, Joe, from the west side of Topeka. So there it's really hard to see. The shelf cloud is right here at the top of the big board. But this is a stout shelf cloud coming in, which is indicative of the strong winds that are about to move in to the central part of the Topeka metro. Gusts to 60, 65 miles per hour possible. We're watching rotation. We're not seeing much rotation on the camera right now out towards Topeka, which is good news. But as Joe was showing you, there's still a little bit of a notch there that's kind of coming towards downtown Topeka, where the tornado warning is still in effect for Shawnee County, Kansas, and just a pinch of Douglas County until 7:15. So we were kind of looking there from 470 back onto the leading edge of this. And we were probably seeing kind of maybe even that outflow on the northern side. I'll turn on our rotation tracker. Again, we're kind of zoomed in here to Topeka right now. And there is some rotation out near the Dover area. And the latest velocity or wind mode is still showing that kind of between, say, Auburn. It's actually weakened here in the last couple of scans, which is good news. But also, Joe, did you see that they've been kind of having, it looks like, the last radar. So the radar update in Topeka hasn't updated in like 10 minutes. They're having some radar connectivity problems. Not ideal for right now. So we're getting radar updates, say, every 10 minutes instead of 5 or so, which not quite as helpful. The good news is, though, the wind velocity signature here out in west of Topeka, a little bit less organized, I would say. It's certainly more organized down here on this Agnes City, Edmire, Lyon County storm, where there's still a confirmed tornado, as we've gotten reports from the southeast side of Council Grove. That's moving up towards Admire, 56 Highway, K99, northern Lyon County. If you have friends or family there, make sure they're in their safe place as well. So that's the tornado warning situation out to our west into central Kansas. There also is, and I'll give a heads up here, this is for Jefferson and western Douglas County, a severe thunderstorm warning That goes until 7:15, and this is out for Topeka, but also includes Valley Falls, the western half of Oskaloosa, Perry, Lecompton, and this goes until 7:15 for strong winds and also a possible tornado as well back there towards the tornado warning. So that severe thunderstorm warning is for 70-mile-per-hour winds. And $half size hail. So that's over a 1-inch size and gusts to 70 miles per hour possible in this cell, which is also possibly producing a tornado there near Topeka. So this is the line of winds, if you will, that's trying to form as it moves towards the Kansas City metro. I guess kind of the one thing that I'm still watching is that this has not quite turned into a line yet. There's another confirmed tornado warning down towards Clifford, it looks. So still 3 tornado warnings out in central Kansas, Newton to Clifford, there south of Cottonwood Falls and Hillsborough. A confirmed tornado warning in the northern part of Lyon County, and then Shawnee County, Kansas with a tornado warning. So 3 of these storms have rotation in it, 2 of which are confirmed.
This and the office itself. So we're getting sporadic radar data from the National Weather Service in Topeka. Now, the National Weather Service in Pleasant Hill is helping the Topeka office a little bit, tracking the storms not only approaching Topeka, but also these storms that are up across northern portions of Missouri. Now, there's Burlington Junction, and we had a report a little while ago, if you were watching, about maybe a little bit of a lowering close by the Burlington Junction area. Tough for me to see any significant rotation with that, but there's a little something right here. Again, this is not a tornado, we don't believe, but maybe a little area of rotation, just something to pay attention to. State Highway F and State Highway FF, that general area right in through there, actually just east of 136 and east of Nottoway. And again, this is all the way up there into Nottoway County. Jacob was talking about this one little area down towards Mound City, and that's still kind of not descript really in terms of looking for any strong areas of rotation within the storm. So that's certainly some good news. We'll take that all the time. Keep these storms from rotating. That is fine by us. Here are the storms that are down there towards Topeka that are moving off towards the east. And, you know, it's kind of it's a pretty solid line, but there are actually two parts of this. So in the big picture of things, I'm going to turn off lightning just to kind of give you a little bit more clarity on things. So what we essentially have is one area of, you know, a pretty significant thunderstorm right there. And then we've got another significant thunderstorm down here. This one that's down there towards roughly Allen, Kansas. That was the one that produced a damaging tornado near Council Grove, not in Council Grove, but that Lake Canopolis or something right around Council Grove. That's where we got the report of cabins damaged, some destroyed. So there's definitely been a tornado connected to that. But again, that's way down towards Council Grove in particular. For this area that's out there towards Topeka, again, we continue to have our tornado warning for a while longer, probably for about another 15, 20 minutes or so. This is moving off towards the east-northeast. This would be heading towards Fairview. If they extend the tornado warning, Lecompton, you'll get involved in that. But right now, the sliver of our viewing area, southwestern Jefferson County, and the extreme northwest corner of Douglas County, this does not include Lawrence, does not include the lake area out there towards Clinton. So it's just a sliver of northwestern portions of Douglas County and the southwestern portion of Jefferson County, just a sliver of those two counties in that tornado warning. But you can see those storms, they're, you know, beefy out there towards Silver Lake, coming right now into the western side of Topeka. Again, we still have that tornado warning for about the next 15 minutes or so towards the Topeka area. No reports of anything actually touching ground around Topeka or anything like that, but they're still maintaining this tornado warning, and there might be some quarter-size hail and then some with this. Storms are starting to accelerate a little bit. Now my colleagues down in Topeka are reporting a movement of close to about 45 miles an hour. I've taken that into account ahead of time with some of these storm tracks, so kind of give you a better time frame of when these storms could be approaching. But for the Lecompton area, you know, they're due in by about 7:22. We'll see whether or not that warning gets extended a little further off towards the east-northeast. If it does, we'll be jumping back on the air on Fox 4 and transitioning our coverage from the plus side to the on-air side. We'll be doing it in both areas, if you will. But again, that's a pretty beefy storm, as mentioned, over towards Silver Lake, towards and west of Topeka. Let's take you back up towards northern Missouri, and we continue to have some pretty strong thunderstorms up there. This storm that's by Mound City, I want to put a little hail on that, see if we could find any hail coming from that, because that might be a little hail core near the Mound City area. Let's see, let's get the hail going. Yeah, that's a little beefier hail coming into Holt County in northwest Missouri. So for you folks over towards Mound City, up there towards the Big Lake area, here's I-29. Again, this is now Holt County. That's coming right into Mound City. So if you live in Mound City, Missouri, if your car is outside, if you have the ability of getting it inside, I would probably put it in the garage right now. Because that's probably got at least quarter-size hail, maybe something a little bit beefier than that, right around the Big Lake area, up there towards, right along the Missouri River for all intents and purposes, right up there towards Big Lake. This would be Highway 111. There's Highway 159. So you kind of get the idea where we're looking at. And again, I-29. Mound City westward, that's our little hail core right now. And that's moving also towards the east-northeast, probably close to 40, 45 miles an hour. And that's going to be moving towards Mound City by about 7:05. So hail will become more of an issue in the Mound City area in the next few minutes. Maitland by about 7:21. Maryville, if it holds together, by about 7:46 in terms of hail production. It might be going over some previously thunderstormed areas, so perhaps the storms weaken just a little bit. But that's a pretty big old storm up there towards northwest Missouri that's moving off towards the east-northeast. Again, for Kansas City, we're still fine for probably the next hour or so, but for Leavenworth County, Douglas County, you'll be affected first. Atchison County, Jefferson County, you'll be affected first. You'll be affected pretty quickly for Jefferson County. But you get the general idea. They're the storms, and they're moving off towards the east-northeast. So on the broader scale, as far as a time frame for Kansas City, these storms are going to be due into Kansas City in the next probably hour to hour and a half. So somewhere between 8 and 8:30 for the storm's arrival into Kansas City. We are hoping that the worst of these storms will just be straight line winds. That's what we're hoping for. And the bigger hope is that as they move further east of Kansas City, that they weaken just a little bit. Due in towards Lawrence by about 7:37, Leavenworth by about 7:45, Gardner into Johnson County on the Kansas side at 8:16. For Kansas City around 8:30, could be a little squiggle room on that one, maybe 15 minutes earlier. Independence by about 8:47 and Lee Summit by about 9:03, associated with these storms that are down near and west of Osage City. So that's still a couple of hours away from impacting the Lee Summit area, it looks like. We'll see the storms sometimes, when you have so many storms throwing out a lot of cold, rain-cooled air, they do have a tendency to accelerate just a little bit. As I'm looking at radar, it seems to me, and it looks like they've dropped that tornado warning, right? Okay. So they've dropped the tornado warning in the Topeka area. The tornado warning continues north of Emporia. That seems to be the biggest storm right now that we've got, in addition to the activity up there across far northwestern portions of Missouri. Let's get over to the other side of the studio with Jacob. Jacob.
Yeah, Joe, so kind of what we've been talking about is this storm near Topeka is starting to become a little more outflow dominant. And actually, if we can take the control room view, we have a live camera from downtown Topeka of the storm moving through right now. It looks like the rain, kind of the strongest winds have already rolled through. There's a decent amount of lightning there, but again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning, so this is a live view from our sister station in downtown Topeka. And this is the storm that's tracking towards Jefferson and Douglas County. Okay, so we can come back to me here. Which is now right there moving through downtown Topeka. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Valley Falls, Oskaloosa, Perry, Lecompton. Lawrence, not quite yet. We'll get a severe warning for you probably shortly. But the tornado warning, the rotation in the storm, has been dropped because it's become outflow dominant, which means that the cooler air that is falling from the downdraft, the hail core, the rain core that is getting pushed ahead of the rear flank downdraft from the storm, that is wrapping ahead and cutting off the inflow jet into the storm. So that means that it can't get its energy. It can't continue to rotate. It's almost like an occluded low pressure that's kind of lost its strength, which is good news because it means that the rotation has weakened. And you can almost see there on the leading edge, that kind of rain, the bright green there from Topeka down 75 Highway, that's the outflow boundary that has overtaken the rotation just a little bit, which is good news. There still is this confirmed tornado right now down near Admire, Kansas, north of Fremont. This is about to cross 335. Okay, so this is going to still be a confirmed tornado on the ground right now. And this, as I turn on our wind velocity mode, yeah, you can see it right there. And so next in line would be, say, the Burlingame area, Osage City, maybe Carbondale, Fairfax if this holds together. But there's the rotation, we'll say K99 and 335, 56 Highway in northern Lyon County is the rotation that we need to be watching. This is kind of the healthiest, most strong rotation in the storm that we're seeing out towards the west. Topeka, again, not really seeing any rotation in that storm, which is good. Not seeing a lot of rotation on rotation tracker even in northern Missouri, which is good news. And so what's happening up there is that we're almost getting the cold front to start collapsing. And so what we have here is we have this cold front setup from Iowa into Kansas, and this cold front kind of drapes back. And then we have the dry line that is stretching from northern Kansas south. So that's where the tornado threat has been a little bit higher this evening along the dry line. We did have one up in Iowa, still do up in Taylor County, Iowa. But as this cold front kind of collapse or zippers with the dry line, that will kind of change the storm motion. The storm in Topeka right now is tracking almost due east at about 40, 45 miles per hour. This line of storms in northern Missouri is going to start to pick up pace as it moves southeast, right down Interstate 29 towards the metro. So as these kind of collapse and come together, that's when we'll have to watch for damaging winds here in the KC metro. And as that zipper happens, the zipper point, if you will, or the triple point of this dry line and cold front can also still be potentially a spot we have to watch for a brief spin-up tornado and the line. That's not playing out right now, but as that kind of comes down the Missouri River, we'll have to watch where those kind of come together. It does look like down in Osage County, Kansas, they've drawn a new tornado warning.
Yeah, they have.
And so that's a county away from Franklin and Anderson County. So we'll have to watch that storm for sure. That's south of Topeka now, near just north of Emporia. Osage City is included in this. It looks like it's starting to turn a little bit more due east instead of northeast. So this is more of a right turning storm, which means that it actually might be able to take a little bit more advantage of some of the wind shear here at the surface. So we'll have to watch that. Still a good ways away from Pomona and Ottawa and Baldwin City, but I'll do a little storm track here on this for you and kind of bring it out in that direction. We'll say it's about an hour away from Pomona or Centropolis, a little bit more than that for Baldwin City. So it'd be kind of 8 o'clock maybe that we'd have to watch Douglas and Franklin counties out here in Kansas for that possible tornado threat if it holds together. Again, we still think this kind of merges into a wind threat for the KC Metro, severe thunderstorm watch for the state line, the metro area, northern Missouri, tornado watch out to the west. A lot of hail reports initially with those storms. That hail is pretty much done. Now it's damaging wind and isolated tornado threat as those cells kind of keep on going. So what we hope now is that this Osage City storm also starts to become outflow dominant, kind of occludes itself, the rotation weakens, and then we just see severe thunderstorm warnings heading towards the metro this evening. So we're still watching that rotation. Right now it's mostly a severe thunderstorm risk, and northern Missouri is where we have kind of that line of collapsing winds. And it seems like, Joe, out towards Topeka, that rotation is staying pretty insignificant.
Yeah, so far so good, right?
Yeah.
With that storm that was coming into the Topeka area. By the way, I just kind of did a quick analysis of some of the tops of those storms, and they're perking close to 50,000 feet up, particularly the storm that's just towards the west of Topeka, and then some of these storms down here towards Osage City. That's that new tornado warning that Jacob, excuse me, just alluded to. Southwestern Osage County and northeastern Lyon County, and that's going to go up until about 7:45. That's radar indicated at this point, so that's good. The severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located about 4 miles south of Admire, moving east at around 30 miles an hour. So that's a storm that is well towards the south and west of Topeka. Some of these storms that are out towards Topeka right now are moving east-northeast. These will affect the metro. We'll see what kind of shape they're in as they get into Kansas City. Rock Creek 718, Oskaloosa 732, Lawrence 750, Tongi right around 753, and Leavenworth, depending on the shape these storms are in, around 801. And again, we've got a little bit of sunshine out there. We're trying to get a little bit more unstable. So that's something to just kind of file away. We'll see if these storms could get a little bit beefier if they try to approach Kansas City. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully not, as they make their inroads towards the state line. When we go further south, these are our tornado warnings. And again, this is a long ways away, obviously, from Kansas City. Just to kind of give you your perspective, there's Topeka up on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. So Topeka's right there. Here's Osage City, and the area of concern would be right there, north of Fremont, all right, south of Agnes City. and east of Council Grove. There was a damaging tornado along one of the lakes out there near Council Grove earlier, did some damage and maybe some destruction to some of the cabins there. But anyway, again, south of Agnes City is one area that we're watching, and again, this is a radar indicated rotation moving off towards the east, perhaps getting there towards Miller, Barkley, Osage City, 746, Scranton by about 8 o'clock or so. So again, that's all the way out towards the south and west of Topeka. And just for a little bit of just reference for you, Topeka would be in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. So Topeka's right here, and that area of rotation is down there. So that's about 40 miles or so south and west of Topeka. So that's a long ways, and that's not going to affect Topeka. That's going to move towards the east. Now we're getting indications of a confirmed tornado with that one cell observed. Northeastern Lyon County got a tornado warning that, let's see, remains in effect. Northeast Lyon, confirmed tornado 4 miles southwest of Harveyville, moving towards the northeast at around 35 miles an hour. So this is down towards Harveyville, Kansas, moving towards the northeast at around 35 miles an hour. So I'm going to make a quick update here with this storm track, and that'll take it towards or close to Osage City by about 7:47. So if you know anybody down towards Osage City, may want to go ahead and just give them a little quick text or a phone call just to tell them, let them know that that storm, which is still a pretty good chunk away from Osage City, does have a confirmed tornado with it, and it's moving towards the Osage City area. Now, it probably will not stay on the ground for that long, but still, it's 20 miles distance between that tornado and the Osage City area. So let's just give them a heads up that they need to watch that cell as it continues to move through that area north of Reading. There's 170 right there, and there's 99. So again, south of 56, south of Agnes City, but for folks over towards Osage City, certainly something that they should be paying attention to over the next about half hour or so as it moves off towards the east. So that's one storm that's out there. Let's take you up towards northern Missouri. We haven't been up in northern Missouri here in the last few minutes. These storms that are up in northern Missouri are still going pretty good. That's a pretty nasty looking squall line, and that's a lot of lightning too. So let's just kind of get an idea how much lightning we're looking at with these storms, and it's a lot. That thing is cranking out lots of lightning strikes. Let's see if I can try to get this. There we go. Yep, roughly about 529 and then some, 500 to 529 lightning strikes with an increase in the last few minutes. So lots of lightning, and that lightning counter tends to underdo the amount of lightning that's coming from that storm. So that's still a heck of a little complex of thunderstorms up there moving off towards the east. Not seeing, at least not at first glance, any indications of any leading edge rotation areas to be concerned about. So this will probably just be more, hopefully, of a straight line wind event and maybe some hail with these storms. But if you live up there towards Maryville, coming your way, 720, Ravenwood 735, Stanberry 751, Gentry by about 754, and Albany by about 807. Just some of the areas that are going to be impacted by these storms that are going pretty good up across northwest Missouri. For you folks over towards Tarkio and Watson and Corning along the I-29 corridor, western or most of Atchison County now in northwest Missouri, you've been cleared from the worst of the weather. All the nasty stuff now has shifted off towards the east of Atchison County and far northwestern portions of Missouri. And finally, before I send it over to Jacob, what about Kansas City? So we're still under this severe thunderstorm watch. This goes until midnight. We're still a whiles away. It's 7:15. Those storms are probably not going to get here until after 8 o'clock and probably closer to about 8:30 or so. Still a long ways away from Kansas City, and hopefully they weaken as they get towards the state line. We'll keep a careful eye out on it, though. About 45 miles or so towards the west of the state line and moving roughly towards the east-northeast at around 40-ish miles an hour. So somewhere in that 8:15-ish range, they should be approaching the state line. Obviously earlier for Leavenworth County, Douglas County, as well as Johnson County and Wyandotte County on the Kansas side, and maybe even the western half of Platte County, perhaps a little earlier for you. State line due in sometime, again, give or take about 15 minutes, right around 8:30. All right, let me send it over to Jacob.
Okay, Joe, so here's our active warnings right now. We have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in the Fox 4 region, the first of which is for Brown and Nemaha County, Kansas. That goes here until 7:30. And then the Douglas, Jackson, Jefferson County severe thunderstorm warning out in Kansas goes until 8 o'clock. Donovan, Andrew, Atchison up in northeast Kansas, northwest Missouri goes until 7:45. All of those are primarily for damaging winds. Here's the visible satellite loop. Okay, we can see this big complex of storms, what we call an MCS, a mesoscale convective system, just a fancy term for a big cluster of organized thunderstorms. And notice as the sun has set or is setting in the last hour, look at the shadow that's being cast across even the lower clouds on the Missouri side from this massive anvil, the overshooting top there. Were how high did you say those, Joe, are?
About 55.
55,000 feet high, so big thunderstorms, big towering cumulonimbus clouds out in Kansas. That's casting a shadow now over the metro and onto the Missouri side. Okay, so here's how that looks like on radar. We have this line of thunderstorms in northwestern Missouri, northeastern Kansas, damaging winds the primary threat there. And then kind of this slowly weakening complex of storms from the MCS out in Kansas. So again, we earlier had the tornado warning out near Topeka. That has been dropped. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Topeka, Jefferson, Douglas County. This does include Lawrence, by the way. And then the tornado warning is still down near Osage City, near the Admire area in northern Lyon County. So that's the tornado warned storm well to the south and west. So here's kind of the radar loop through Topeka. Right now I want to zoom in and show you the severe thunderstorm warning. This goes until 8 o'clock. It does include Valley Falls, Oskaloosa, Lecompton, Lawrence, and Clinton Lake until 8 p.m. And this is actually for 70-mile-per-hour winds. So this is for a strengthening line of winds, although we don't really have the wind reports there. I think Topeka may be gusted to 60 miles per hour as this is moving through. I will turn on the velocity mode. Again, the Topeka radar having a little bit of technical issues tonight. So we're relying on the Kansas City radar, a little further away, obviously, from Topeka and Lawrence. We're seeing some of these wind gusts, maybe near Valley Falls, Rock Creek. I can query these and see, yeah, 40 to 50 miles per hour. There might be a surge somewhere in there of 60-mile-per-hour gusts. But the high-end 70-mile-per-hour winds, not really seeing that quite yet on radar, at least out there towards Lawrence. So the line of storms here, I'll track these out. Moving into Valley Falls, Fairview, Lecompton right now. Here's the updated ETA. This would be tracking towards Leavenworth, maybe western Wyandotte, northwestern Johnson County within the next hour. Again, this is the line of 60-mile-per-hour winds in this severe thunderstorm. So Oskaloosa 7:30, Lawrence 7:35, about 15 minutes in Lawrence until this line of heavy rain, lightning, and possibly 50 to 60-mile-per-hour winds moves through Eudora. 7:45 DeSoto, around 8 o'clock. Leavenworth just around or after 8 p.m. So this is going to be the line that'll position it through the heart of the KC Metro, right between, say, 8:30 and 9:30. And I think it's mainly going to be a damaging wind risk. The tornado environment is still somewhat there, although these storms themselves are getting messy enough to kind of combat this. Even though there are some ingredients in low-level wind shear, the storms are almost kind of on top of themselves now. So this Osage storm might still continue rotation. It looks like that it's no longer a confirmed tornado approaching Osage City. It's just a base tornado warning with a radar indicated rotation. And so we'll see as this kind of moves away. The one caveat there is that as I put this into motion, the thunderstorms kind of to the south of this are tracking a little bit more southeast. And so may keep just enough distance out so this Osage City storm has still some inflow and ingredients and kind of an uninterrupted inflow of rotation and warm, moist, humid air. So we'll watch that Osage storm. If there's going to be a spin up, that's probably where it's going to be here, continuing the next hour. Again, we'll watch It'll be interesting to see as this line, Hiawatha to Mound City, Missouri, meets the line out towards Topeka and Jefferson County. As it meets, which might end up being right over the KC Northland, does that kind of mix things up a little bit? Does that cause any cell nudgers to maybe produce a brief spin up? That's something we'll have to watch for sure. It does look like, though, that because of the clouds we had earlier today, the instability lacking a little bit over the metro, which is good news. There's still, though, certainly some wind energy in the upper atmosphere that could be brought down here to the surface. So we'll look here, the severe thunderstorm warning there still till 8 o'clock. Again, here's the severe thunderstorm watch for the KC Metro, tornado watch for Jefferson and Douglas County, severe watch, Leavenworth, Wyandotte, Johnson, Jackson, Platte, and Clay counties. This goes until midnight, although I think the storms will be clear by then. I will jump here really quickly into show future radar to kind of show how this is going to play out for the Kansas City Metro. And over the next hour, by 9 o'clock, it should be moving through the KC area, the state line. By 10 p.m., it's on the Missouri side of the metro. By 11 p.m., it's out towards, say, Warrensburg, Carrollton. And then by midnight, it is certainly weakening. Still some gusty winds, heavy rain, lightning. But we're done in the metro, I think, by 11 p.m. or midnight, as this weakening line of storms will be moving in towards central Missouri. So that's going to be what we're watching here into the overnight hours. The severe risk persists, say, for the next 3 hours or so here in the metro, kind of between now and 11 o'clock for the state line. If you live in Warrensburg, Odessa, Carrollton, Marshall, Sedalia, it's probably going to be after 10 p.m. when storms arrive in your area. It'll still take a couple more hours. So that's the time frame for storms right now. No major updates on the radar right now that we're getting, and no major updates coming in from the National Weather Service. It looks like they're still kind of getting in some of those brief tornado confirmations out in Kansas from earlier this evening. But right now, the storm entering Osage County does not have anything on it. So that's kind of the only tornado warning. There's this confirmed tornado, and this is a massive tornado warning north of Wichita. I mean, it's like what is that, 5, 6 counties, Joe?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot.
Is the rotation there near Clifford, I think? This is almost in the Wichita National Weather Service office. I think there's 2 or 3 areas where there could be some brief spin-ups. Again, we're down on the Wichita radar now. We should be, as I pull this up here. Yeah, there's kind of just several pockets of maybe brief spin-ups. It looks like the confirmed tornado would, I think, be near Clifford. That's a large tornado warning, though, and it's confirmed, so that's interesting. That's not moving towards us, though, which is good news. And again, the rotation tracker not really showing anything on this Jefferson Douglas County severe warning, which is good. And even the tornado warning down here in Lyon and Osage County, this is kind of the trail of it. So back near Americus, it was a little stronger. The rotation now weakening a little bit now that it's near Admire and 335 interstate. So that's a good trend. Hopefully this continues to weaken. We'll continue to watch. So Joe, it looks like kind of the severe thunderstorm warning is kind of the only issue right now. As that Osage City tornado warned storm continues to slowly weaken a little bit.
That thing that's out there towards Reading, Kansas, that might be something that could be on the ground. Radar indicates, now it's tricky because, as I mentioned, we've been having some communication issues. Actually, the Weather Service is having some communication issues with their radar. Their office is not where their radar is. Their radar is west of the office. So there have been some communication issues with this, but we were getting a report of maybe something there. So there's Admire. I assume I'm pronouncing that correctly. Right along 56, there's 99, and radar was indicating something confirmed there. Don't know if it's still on the ground, but there might be something very much on the ground in this general area. Tough to make out. Let me see if the radar got updated here in the last few minutes. This radar image has not changed much, so I'm a little leery about putting a storm track on it.
Yeah, that's 20 minutes old. Right?
Yeah, so that's not helpful. But if there is something going on, it's probably going to be near that Admire Reading area. Radar suggests this is as of 7:21. Radar suggests a tornado on the ground south of Admire, moving towards Miller, a few miles northwest of Reading. So for you folks, if you know anybody out there in the northern reaches of Lyon County, make sure they're aware of that. It's just kind of one of those things where it's just kind of tough to give you a precise location without having that radar data. So what I'm doing now is I'm utilizing the radar data out of Pleasant Hill for that storm, and that radar is operating correctly, and we're getting data from it. So this is right up pretty much now on top, or very close it appears, to Osage City. So if you live in Osage City, I advise you to get yourself into a safe spot. Pomona. All right, so let's start paying attention to Ottawa. 8:30, it's still an hour away. And I'd kind of be a little surprised if this thing could sustain itself for that long. But Ottawa now starting to show up as a possible destination to what this line of storms is going to do, a likely destination, I should say. But it'll probably go through various changes and iterations. And, you know, Ottawa's obviously very weather sensitive after what happened a little more than a week ago. So, you know, let's just kind of pay attention to Franklin County, also Douglas County as well. Right now, the only severe thunderstorm warning that we've got close to Kansas City is for Jefferson and the northwestern quadrant of Douglas County. Technically, it just barely includes Lawrence. These storms, though, coming out of Topeka don't look nearly as frisky as they did about maybe a half hour or so ago. So hopefully that's a weakening trend that will continue as these storms move off towards the east. And as I've mentioned, you know, off and on for the last couple of days, it is not a slam dunk that the Metro gets severe weather for tonight. If these storms could manage somehow to kind of peter themselves out to some extent, we'll get rain and we might get some gusty winds from the storms, but hopefully it's nothing too crazy. But again, that little late burst of sunshine that we got late this afternoon is something that bothers me a little bit. So I can't, by no means am I, you know, saying all is good here in Kansas City. I'm just kind of, you know, hoping that these storms kind of weaken as they perhaps come into a little less instability that's on top of us. Tornado warnings again continue down towards Lyon County, down towards the south of Emporia. That's been a hot spot over the last 10 days or so with some nasty storms down towards the Emporia area. For northwest Missouri, these storms up here, to be honest with you, haven't gotten really too crazy on us. 1 inch hail maybe, 60-mile-an-hour winds maybe, with some of these storms up there towards northwest Missouri. So we'll put a storm track on these. These are base severe thunderstorm warnings, and they're moving off towards the east-northeast, around 40, 45 miles an hour. So Ravenwood due into you by about 7:38. Savannah, you'll be a little quicker here, getting into that perhaps right there. 7:59 at 7:28 right now. Albany 8:14, Lamoni, that's up in Iowa. Bethany by about 8:38. There's the Iowa border right there. So we've got, you know, pretty beefy cells, nothing too crazy. 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail, base severe thunderstorms, but nothing too crazy. And then as we go down the line through areas in eastern Kansas, you know, here's that storm that was over towards Topeka, and that seems to have really broken up into Jefferson County. It might be severe, it may not be severe. That doesn't look too terrible to me. It seems like even the lightning is diminishing on that. The storm that is just southwest of Topeka, that's still going pretty good. And again, all the activity is moving off towards the east, maybe a little bit east-northeast. So we continue to have severe thunderstorm warnings out here. Again, it does include parts of Douglas County. And just a reminder that the Metro is under a severe thunderstorm watch, and that's going to go through the midnight hour. But you kind of get a sense of some of these storms that are out there. The yellows represent severe thunderstorm warnings. The blue area, look at all these counties in blue. That would be a severe thunderstorm watch, again, till midnight. Folks up towards Atchison County, I think you've been cleared from that watch. The yellows represent severe thunderstorm warnings. So far, the worst seems to be 60-mile-an-hour winds, maybe some 1-inch hail, thankfully. The storm that's approaching Jefferson County now, or into Jefferson County, that seems to be breaking up to some extent. Northwestern portions of Douglas County also under a severe thunderstorm warning. We continue to have our tornado warning down here towards Osage City. Did have reports of a tornado perhaps on the ground near Admire just a little while ago. So that's something that's affecting areas down towards Osage City. We do have confirmed reports, and this is out towards Council Grove, of that Lake Cahola area that has had some damage to some of the counties down there. Roof on the ground, 3 homes damaged by the shelter house down towards Lake Cahola. So that's a long ways away from Topeka. But again, that's out there a long ways away into eastern Kansas. Again, for Kansas City right now, we're doing pretty good. We'll probably stay okay for at least a little while longer. These storms coming in hopefully will be weakening just a little bit as they approach Kansas City. We're keeping an eye on them, obviously, and we're certainly keeping an eye on that storm that's over there towards Osage City, particularly for the Franklin County area. Jacob.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. So they actually just kind of trimmed the warning now. So it's mainly Lyon County now, or Osage County, excuse me, down near Osage City. So this is where the tornado warning is. And again, this is from the Pleasant Hill, the Kansas City National Weather Service office. And they're just saying the tornado warning remains in effect here until 7:45. As of 7:30, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Osage City, moving east now at 45 miles per hour. So notice the speeds here, these storms have gone up. They started at almost 30, 35 miles per hour earlier this afternoon. Now they're up to 45, probably approaching 50 mile per hour soon. So the rotation here is near Osage City. This is the tornado warned storm, the only tornado warned storm anywhere near our area. And so I want to do an updated storm track on this simply because if this holds together, it would be heading towards Franklin County. So near Osage City, near Barclay area. And I'll up the speed to, we'll split 45 and 50 and kind of take this out in a due east time frame. So what we're going to have at some point is the National Weather Service in Topeka is going to decide if they're going to issue a new tornado warning for, say, the eastern half of Osage, maybe into Franklin County, maybe clipping Pomona. So that's something we'll have to watch. Okay, so here's the ETA. If this rotation holds together, it would be in Pomona around 8:04. And then back towards Homewood, 8:10, Ottawa, 8:15, 8:20. Again, a good ways away, but it's less than an hour away now, so we're just watching that closely. That's kind of the most concerning storm right now out there across central and eastern Kansas near Osage City. We're too far away from the radar really to get an accurate velocity scan. It looks like there's a new severe thunderstorm warning back towards Topeka, Clinton Lake, Lecompton area on the south side of Topeka. And I'm just watching to see if the Topeka Weather Service office is going to give us any other updates. So again, we're kind of shooting these storms well up in them because this is from the radar signature here in Pleasant Hill and Kansas City. So yeah, there could be some strong winds with this south of Topeka moving towards Clinton Lake, Lecompton. Actually, as Joe was mentioning, the Lawrence, so the Douglas, Jefferson County severe warning has been canceled because that has really petered out, which is good news, as this tracks towards the metro. So the severe thunderstorm warning continues in northwestern Missouri as this line kind of comes together. There is kind of a gap in the action almost, if you will, say between Hiawatha and Topeka. So northeastern Kansas, like small hail or 60 mile per hour wind gusts, it's possible. The main rotation threat, though, is still south towards the Osage City area. So that's the good news. It looks like northwestern Missouri, there's a little bit of hail falling maybe out towards the Maryville area, Pickering community, so we can turn on the hail tracker up there. That's one of the severe thunderstorm. Yeah, it's a little hail core there, maybe peas or nickel size. There's also kind of on the county line, Mound City, Maitland as well. So some small hail falling up in northeast or northwestern Missouri. Really no hail. There is a hail core actually down in these two storms, Topeka down to Osage City. That could be dime to quarter size hail near Auburn, Kansas, near Osage City, Kansas, and these two severe thunderstorms. So we'll watch that hail threat as well. It's not major hail. I think, Joe, the largest hail size I've seen is maybe 1.5 inches out in Kansas.
You know, this is another case where these big, powerful thunderstorms. Just, I mean, it's a great thing. You know, maybe we got all this terrible hail out of our system a few weeks ago. But yeah, another day where these big, powerful thunderstorms, they just turn into these huge blobs of things, and the hail production is a thing that seems to be being sacrificed. Sure, maybe some quarter-size hail, but like Jacob mentioned, we haven't really seen anything too much larger than that. We continue with this tornado warning down towards Osage City. In all honesty, these other storms that are out there they're noteworthy. They've got a few severe thunderstorm warnings, base severe thunderstorm warnings, and I'd probably release our coverage, but I just kind of want to stay with at least WDAF Plus for a little while longer based on that cell that's in Osage City that's heading into or may approach Franklin County within the next about half hour or so. So that's why I just want to be ready in case we need to kind of jump on the air and a little inside baseball when we're doing our Plus streaming coverage like we are right now. It's a lot quicker for us to get on Fox 4 KC because all our ducks are nicely in a row. So again, that's why we're continuing, or at least I want to continue, our Plus coverage for at least a little while longer. If this thing kind of fades, we'll probably just go ahead and kick our Plus coverage back to regular programming or whatever, probably a repeat of our newscast from earlier. So again, for you folks in Ottawa, you are still a long ways away from that cell. It's a long ways away from you. But I know a lot of folks are very sensitive right now in Franklin County. And just to kind of give you a heads up, it's 7:37. And if that circulation holds together, and it's probably the strongest storm that we've got in this whole line from Reading all the way up towards Topeka, if that circulation holds together, it would be getting closer to Ottawa between 8:15 and 8:30. So again, a long ways away. Hopefully it weakens. Very well may, because there's a lot of cloud cover today from roughly Lawrence eastward to the state line. So the hope is, and now that the sun is going down, that we might be losing some of our instability just a little bit, that maybe this kind of weakens a little bit as it moves closer to the state line. But again, for the Ottawa area, I just want to kind of be just focused on you here for just a second, just because of everything that you folks have been through in the last 10-ish days or so. Other thunderstorms continue up towards the Perry Lake area, Overbrook, 75 Highway. There's that circulation that I alluded to down there well south of Topeka. And then for northern Missouri, storms are still going up there. They're not crazy storms. Again, just kind of base storms. They're reissuing this tornado warning for Osage County again. Let me just kind of pop that up real quickly. For Osage County, a new tornado warning has been issued. This is radar indicated, located pretty much on top of Osage City, moving towards the east at around 30 miles an hour. Again, that's the cell that we've been tracking for a while. Again, that just kind of raises another yellow flag, Franklin County. Let's kind of start thinking about that storm off to your west. Franklin County, think about that storm off to your west. These storms up in northern Missouri, they're going, but there's nothing too crazy connected to that at this point. Radar right now shows that circulation that we were alluding to pretty much right on top of Osage City. That warning goes right up to the county line of Osage and Franklin. So, you know, that's an area that storm that we got, you know, last week, last Monday. Everything is blending all together. That's kind of how this storm came out. It came out of Osage County and moved into Franklin County on an easterly trajectory. So again, for Ottawa, somewhere in that 8:15 to 8:40-ish area. I want you folks to be paying a little bit more attention. Now, again, the warning itself stops right at the county line. So Franklin County, you are not in this tornado warning. But certainly Osage County is. That warning in Osage County is going to go until 8:15. So, fingers crossed that we don't have to fuss with Franklin County with this, but it's something that we have to be prepared for, and I want the folks down in Franklin County to be prepared just in case. You don't have to do anything crazy right now. That storm is still a long ways away from Franklin County. It's roughly right now about, there's Ottawa, and that circulation is about 29, 30 miles or so towards the west of Ottawa. So based on a 35-ish mile an hour speed, we're still looking at, a good chunk of time before it gets to you. But again, for Franklin County, something to pay attention to. That's for sure, because, that's how this whole mess started about 10 days ago. Southwestern Lyon County, which is a county down towards the southwest, that tornado warning has been canceled for southwestern Lyon County, but it continues for Osage County, and that goes through roughly 8:30. Excuse me just for looking at this tornado warning. This is all the way down. There's Wichita. But we're on the plus side, so we get to do these things where we kind of deviate a little bit. That is quite the tornado warning. That's out there.
I've seen that, really.
That's a lot. And what we typically try to do is identify these smallish areas of potential, these little mesovortices along the leading edge. And my assumption is that my colleagues down in Wichita have just said, hey, there could be these little spin-ups, although it looks like right now this area there's a gust front right there, so it looks like they're behind the gust front. That should reduce their tornadic threat. But these little leading edge spinners, and there are just maybe too many of them, so they just decided, let's just throw this whole tornado warning into effect and just kind of protect everybody just to be further on the safe side. So I find that kind of interesting from a weird science standpoint. Back to Osage City we go. Looks like this is a current scan. We just got this scan in. As I mentioned, they've been having some communication issues between the radar and the office in Topeka. So we've been getting some intermittent radar data, but that looks pretty significant around Osage City, and that definitely looks pretty significant. There's our velocity product, and there might be actually a couple little areas there that we need to watch in Osage County. There might be a little area of rotation perhaps along the leading edge, perhaps something going there and there. So there might be actually two guys that we need to watch. So Fairfax, that's 75, here's 75 Highway. So west of 75 Highway. Make sure you folks are taking cover. If you know anybody out there towards Fairfax and Linden, Osage City, there's, 3164. So maybe two areas that we need to kind of watch for the potential of at least something of noteworthiness right there and maybe right there. I'm kind of glad we got this latest scan from Topeka to kind of help us out with that. So a couple of areas of rotation that we're watching out there towards Osage County, but it looks like, just based on radar, that as I kind of take off the lightning on this, it looks like the most concerning part of this is right around Osage City in that latest scan that just got updated just a little while ago. So there's all that. As we come into the metro, we've got a couple of garden variety thunderstorms right now. Northeastern portions of Jefferson County getting ready to move into the eastern area, out there towards Oskaloosa, east of Lecompton. This is just garden variety stuff, maybe some stronger stuff down towards Topeka, but I have not seen, and I'll scan real quick, pea-sized hail, just a report out of Lyon County. I have not really seen anything crazy in terms of big reports, maybe some penny-sized hail Oskaloosa, 50-mile-an-hour winds. That was at around 7:33. That's probably some outflow. Spotter there, Lakeside Village, reported heavy rain, 40 to 50-mile-an-hour winds. So, you know, the storms are doing something, but hopefully nothing too crazy right now for that general area. Let's see. Yeah, that's about what we've got, at least on this side of the studio. Jacob, anything else?
So, Joe, because we never have time to do this on
Yeah.
the air, I wanted to
Go
pull
for
up the 3D radar
Ooh.
from the Osage City storm. So this is the tornado warning storm. So there's Linden, Kansas, okay, right here. And then right about here, that's Osage City. So what we've done here, the radar slices through the storms at different angles. It's about a half a degree all the way up to 15 degrees. So we get kind of this structure, almost like an MRI. We're scanning each level, and then we can kind of merge those into a 3D picture. And we can see here that this thunderstorm, as we were kind of talking about earlier, about 45, 50,000 feet tall. And then we can see where the rotation is. So right around here, this is kind of the notch of the possible tornado right over Osage City. And it's a little bit tough to see in this angle, but we can kind of see right there that we get the rear inflow jet, or say the wall cloud that's pushing out ahead of the tornado. That's right here south of Osage City. And so that's kind of the view. Sometimes when it's a little closer to radar, we can actually see the funnel on radar reaching the ground. I'm not seeing that here, but I am seeing kind of this notch where the inflow is meeting the rear flank downdraft, and that's where we get rotation because it's kind of this tiny, localized, low pressure that spins. And that's where we could be possibly still getting a tornado there at Osage City. So that's kind of the MRI view, the 3D view, if you will, of the Osage County storm. Have they been doing any updates? Yeah, they're still saying that the supercell rotation is looking healthy, unfortunately, there in Osage City. And yeah, the last scan, which was that, how long ago was that?
Well, I think I saw a scan of 7:44.
So 42 is when that came in,
Yeah.
so that's now 5 minutes old. I mean, the latest scan certainly looks a little organized right here. So Linden certainly needs to be in the tornado safe spot. I'll turn on the Pleasant Hill radar. That might move it forward barely. So again, if there's rotation, and again, we've been tracking this. I'll part the circulation here. If there's a tornado, it's between Osage City and Linden right now at K31 or just south of it. And this is moving off towards the east at 45 miles per hour, 48 miles per hour, 45 to 50. So there's the updated track. Time frame now for Pomona is just after 8:05, so about 15, 20 minutes away. So we should get an update soon if Franklin County is going to be added to this tornado warning or not. Ottawa, the time would be around 8:20, about 30 minutes away. So the Weather Office in Topeka is certainly watching this cell. It's kind of the most organized in their region. And this is kind of the one thing to watch, I would say, for sure, that we're going to have to keep a close eye on. Of course, Franklin County has been hit by several of the severe thunderstorms, the biggest of which their tornado that they had, a week and a half ago now. So severe thunderstorm warnings continue in northern Missouri. We did get an update from the Storm Prediction Center saying that the lightning has actually decreased in this line of storms a little bit, which is good news. There's still the isolated chance for a quick spin up, but even the energy in the mid-levels of the atmosphere not as impressive as it was earlier. So some good news here from these northern severe thunderstorm warnings. I think, even this thing out towards Topeka and Lawrence is almost weakening that severe warning. So really kind of the only game in town when it comes to, life-threatening weather is probably this Osage County tornado warning. And we're going to have to watch southern Douglas and north central Franklin County here in the next half an hour. We should get an update soon, Joe, I would think.
Hopefully, yeah, and hopefully it's not a tornado warning, but we're getting a little worried about Franklin County again, just based on how radar looks from that Osage County storm. There are tons of spotters, apparently, chasers down there east of Osage City, so if something happens with that, we'll know about it. And I would assume if something happens tornadic-wise, confirmed, east of Osage City, that's probably going to kind of enable them to have justification to issue a tornado warning for at least parts of Franklin County. No warning yet for Franklin County, but one may be coming. Wanted to show you the play out for this evening. Thunderstorms northwest of here, or northwestern Missouri, into the metro, west side of the metro, and then extending all the way on down towards the Ottawa area. And again, we'll see about that severe weather risk further on down towards the south. As we go through the early to mid-evening, by about 11 o'clock, we're kind of on the back side of things here in the metro. Jackson County and Harrisonville and Butler still sort of in it. Some of those heavier cells could see a little bit of a bow echo. That's what our model is depicting out here towards Carrollton and around Marshall. That's again around 11 o'clock, but the thought process is as these storms push east of Kansas City, they may be more into a weakening phase with just some locally heavy rains. And then as we get closer to the midnight hour, this is when the watch comes down. But again, for the metro, the worst of the weather should be done with by roughly 10 to 11 o'clock tonight. By midnight, still have these thunderstorms going from Kirksville to Marshall to Warrensburg, Clinton, Butler, over towards and approaching the Sedalia area. And as we go through things here, by 2:30 in the morning, the storms now are more towards central Missouri, east of 65 Highway, approaching St. Louis. We've dried out. We haven't cleared out quite yet. That's going to happen as we head towards daybreak tomorrow morning, and then everything will be kind of off and done with us as far as we go here in the metro. Uh-oh, I lost my computer. So again, for areas off towards the east of Kansas City, this is going to be an issue through the night. But for Kansas City proper, things should start to settle down probably after 10:30, if not maybe even a little bit earlier than that. So that's one cell that's out there that we're watching. There are some other cells, obviously, that we're paying attention to. Let me just quickly check in with chat. Let's see. So far, nothing overly concerning, even with that Osage City storm, even though that's got the best area of rotation. Some pea-sized hail south of Maryville over towards Barnard, Missouri. Jacob mentioned earlier that those storms that were up there were showing some signs of weakening just a little bit, so that's certainly some good news. But again, the worst of these storms should pretty much be right on top of the metro, sometime between roughly 8:30 and about 9:30 or 10 o'clock, right along that I-35 corridor, and they'll continue to push off towards the east. So we're hoping that the storms will continue to weaken as they get into the Kansas City area, but it's certainly something that we kind of need to watch. And even as they continue to progress off towards the east onto the Missouri side, hopefully that weakening trend will continue. I'm watching Jacob on the big board, and he's got, is that a sunset and a thunderstorm? Look at this.
Yeah, this is kind of a cool shot.
Yeah.
So we're honestly seeing, this is almost like a roll cloud here, and this is the outflow ahead of the severe thunderstorm that's back near Topeka and Lawrence. So we are at the Kansas Speedway looking due west. This is the fiery sky along the horizon, the oranges and yellows there. You can see that's one of the rain shafts out in Jefferson County. Oh, there's some lightning. And then kind of where the gray meets the ground out here on the left side of the image, that is the rain and possibly light hail core closer to Lawrence and Topeka. So kind of a cool view here. You can almost see it kind of looks like this roll of clouds right here that's moving through. It's not a shelf cloud, that's more of a roll cloud. That's almost the outflow boundary out of ahead of it. So I'm curious if I can see that on radar at all as I zoom into this severe thunderstorm warning. So beautiful sunset from the Speedway. Those are the storms out to the west, kind of breaking underneath the clouds. And as we pull up the radar here now, so what we were seeing kind of is the outflow from this storm, from the Speedway, probably this little thing, this little light green along K7. That would be the little kind of leading edge of outflow ahead of this thunderstorm. That's severe warning. McLouth, Lecompton, Lawrence, Wakarusa, Clinton in that severe thunderstorm warning. And that goes until the 8:15 time out in Douglas and Jefferson County. And then down to this tornado warning. This continues until 8:15 for Osage County. and there's still some rotation on this. No updates yet from the National Weather Service in Topeka. Let's see if this is that still up? The 3D radar at all? Okay, this is, I was going to see here. Okay, so tornado warning will kind of stay out of our area for now. This is the 3D velocity. So again, kind of as a storm analyst here, I'm looking at the MRI of the winds. So again, remember that kind of the reds are away from the radar, the greens are towards the radar, and that's where we're getting this rotation between Osage City and Linden, Kansas. This red thing, look at that, kind of sticking down towards the ground, okay, a little bit. That is where the possible lowering or rotating updraft would be on this thunderstorm. So if there's a tornado, obviously the tornado would extend from the bottom of this rotating updraft to the ground in Osage County. So we can see a little bit of that right here. Notice how that's highlighted better than the winds around it. And that's kind of the rotating updraft that might be trying to reach the ground a little bit. So we'll watch that trend for sure. Okay, so it looks like there's a tornado warning in Coffee County now, south of the Osage County storm. And in some ways, I don't know, Joe, in some ways this might be a good thing because it might try to steal some of the energy from the Osage City storm.
Yeah, we kind of keep our fingers crossed about that, right?
That's my thought, yeah.
With that storm.
That's the hope.
I mean, it's still, I'm just looking at over your shoulder at that Osage City storm.
Yeah, there's certainly
There's
still rotation.
something still going on down there that's just somewhat uncomfortable. It doesn't, you know, the Topeka radar image is getting old again. Yeah. So we're kind of stuck on that one. So now we're back to Pleasant Hill, which is fine, but we're shooting a long way up into the storm from the Pleasant Hill office to near Linden. It's about 7,000 feet up. So basically we get an idea what's going on in that general area. 7,000, 8,000 feet up, but we don't have a great, idea what's going on from a radar standpoint closer to the surface. Now, as I mentioned, there are a ton of chasers apparently right now in Osage City. So if something is going on down there, it'll get highlighted very, very quickly. Jacob was alluding to these other tornado warnings down and around the Emporia area. So quite a few red boxes down there with tornado warnings down towards Lebo. That general area, also out towards Greenwood County, tornado warnings, and Butler County, tornado warnings, and some confirmed tornadoes down there. That would be along that I-35 corridor. Again, I'm sort of interested in this as well, that for Osage City, that area of rotation pretty much passed right over Osage City. And thankfully, no reports of tornadoes, and I think we would have heard about a tornado if there was one in Osage City. So that's a populated area, so that's not going to slide by and kind of us miss out on that, because that would get quite a few folks saying, yeah, we see a tornado. So thankfully, so far so good regarding Osage County. Again, this does not include Franklin County, but it's one county west of you. So, let's keep an eye on the folks in Pomona, Ottawa, maybe Centropolis as well, the northern half of Franklin County. You continue to be under a tornado watch up until about 9 o'clock or so. Some other storms, baseline severe thunderstorms, it appears. Topeka over towards Lawrence, 60-mile-an-hour winds, maybe some quarter-size hail. That continues as well for northwestern Missouri, 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail. I mentioned this a few minutes ago. We'd probably even drop out of our WDAF Plus coverage with these base severe thunderstorm warnings. But I'm still just, I want to see this storm in Osage County through, and hopefully it'll continue to weaken as it approaches Franklin County, because folks in Franklin County don't need really much more aggravation than what they've already got. Up towards Ravenwood, some dime-size hail. Not much, though, mostly pea-sized. Dime was the largest, so that was a report coming out of Nottoway County, some dime-size hail around the Ravenwood area. So that's something for you folks up to the north. Again, here's the whole line. It's the worst of it is up towards the Iowa border, and then this cluster from Topeka down towards Osage City, south of Emporia, to near the Wichita area. So there will be parts of the metro, and Jacob kind of alluded to this a little while ago, that don't get much of anything terrible this evening, and that's going to include parts of the metro. Hopefully, this general area in through here just gets a little bit of quick rain and nothing much more than that, with the worst of the weather north and south of parts of northern Platte County and even down into Leavenworth County. This storm down here, this is the one that we've been kind of keeping an eye on, two of them as a matter of fact. There's one out here towards the Lawrence area, just west of Lawrence, out towards the lake around Perry, Kansas. That's now east of Topeka, severe thunderstorm warning for that. Here's our tornado warning. It's still got a little inflow notch to it. Now east of Osage City, getting closer to Pomona. It looks like we do have a new update here from Topeka. So this would be roughly, there's Pomona, so near and just north of Linden, about 11 miles west-northwest of Pomona. That's where we've got our circulation. Nothing confirmed on the ground, just radar indicated at last check. Pea-sized hail also reported in Leavenworth County with these storms. Grantville, Kansas, up in Jefferson County, 1/8 of a mile visibility, heavy rain, some pea-sized hail. So those are some of the newest reports that have just come in. 251st in Springdale, Leavenworth County, pea-sized hail, heavy rain. So again, these are, your typical springtime thunderstorms. Haven't really had reports of wind either from much of this, or at least nothing confirmed to my knowledge or to my recollection. I'm sure these things are producing at least some wind. But again, for the Ottawa County, or for Franklin County and Ottawa in particular, we're just watching this one storm coming out of the Linden area, now northeast of Linden. The area of rotation, you could see it. It's right there. That's that area of rotation that we're watching, near and north, if you will, of Pomona, northwest of Pomona, and that would be north of 68 Highway in general. So, you folks in Centropolis, I'll throw Baldwin City into this just as a early heads up that, kind of do a quick little look-see at this. Yeah, let's throw Centropolis into this mix. Notice how there's a little bit of a slight north jog in these last little frames. So, let's throw Centropolis into this just as something to watch. There's the rotation right there, somewhere right in through there, and there's Centropolis. So Ottawa, Pomona, Centropolis, Baldwin City, as well as southern Douglas County. Let's just kind of pay attention to that whole thing as it kind of continues to move towards the east-northeast. I'll put a storm track on it. Here's that tornado warning, by the way. Osage County, that goes until 8:15. It is 8:03 now. So we're kind of getting closer to the point in time where they're going to have to make a decision about at least the far northern portion of Franklin County and perhaps southern Douglas County as well. That rotation, if it continues to do that east-northeast track, that'll take it north of Ottawa. Let's not let our guard down, though, Ottawa. And this little area here is a sign of some stronger straight line winds being pushed out. The tornado warning continues in effect for Osage County. That goes until 8:15. And again, if this is a thing for Centropolis, this would be a thing closer to about 8:25. If it's a thing for Baldwin City, that's going to be around 8:30, 8:45. If it's a thing for Wellsville, closer to about 8:45, maybe just after that. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, it was looking pretty good, maybe not looking quite as good, at least on our computer here, perhaps showing maybe some signs of weakening, but I bet there's still at least a little bit of some circulation going on down there. But I don't know, Jacob, as you're looking at this, it doesn't look quite as beefy maybe?
Yeah, I agree. It's almost to me like it's trying to split a little, Joe.
Maybe.
Like I'm seeing like a
that northern side that you're about to show.
A weak rotation there, a weak rotation there, kind of two sets of it, if you will. One along K31, near Linden and one up near the Overbrook area. We're talking to the National Weather Service in Topeka. We'll find out soon what they plan to do with this. But yeah, I can almost, of course, the radar's been having some issues out in Topeka. Not a good night for that to happen. Okay, so it looks like they're going to do a severe thunderstorm warning for now, which is good for Franklin and Douglas County. And it looks like that this is a standard severe warning that does not include a tornado possible, Joe.
Okay.
So that's somewhat good news. And this new warning includes Pomona, Carbondale, Centropolis until 8:45. And it kind of starts where the Douglas County warning stops. Also looking like a new severe warning is coming in for the west side of the metro. Leavenworth, Wyandotte, Johnson County, Kansas now getting this severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. Bonner Springs, Lansing, Leavenworth, Tonganoxie, DeSoto, and this for 60-mile-per-hour winds from the storm coming out of Lawrence and Tongi. So that's the severe thunderstorm warning on the west side of the metro. There's this severe thunderstorm warning down towards Ottawa. But right now it's mainly a 60-mile-per-hour wind threat, I would say. Here, I'll kind of widen the view for you and show you what the watches and warnings kind of look like. Yeah, it looks like Overbrook and Pomona, Joe, is where they're kind of looking if there's going to be something, which would include Douglas County if that's the case. So, okay, so yellow here, severe thunderstorm warning. So Western Platte County, Leavenworth, Western Wyandotte, Northwestern Johnson, Douglas, and Northwestern Franklin County also. So that's a good chunk of our Kansas side of your viewers. Those of you who are watching on WDF Plus, 60-mile-per-hour winds is the threat with all of these severe thunderstorm warnings. So whether you live in Ottawa, Baldwin City, Lawrence, DeSoto, the Legends, Leavenworth, it's a 60-mile-per-hour wind threat here over the next 30 or so minutes. So that's going to be the main concern, along with some lightning. Although I'll tell you, and we were kind of talking about this earlier, that the lightning count has trended down in the last hour or so. The last count I had here on the Kansas side was, yeah, we can even loop it over the last hour. So we had the count up to around 380, 400 lightning strikes. Now it's down to 270. So we've kind of slashed the lightning count by a quarter, if you will. Which is good because typically lightning intensity is correlated to storm intensity. The more robust the updraft, the more rotation, the more hail that we're seeing in cumulonimbus clouds, these supercell or thunderstorms, the more lightning that gets produced. When that updraft weakens, the hail falls, the storms kind of fall out on themselves or lose their inflow or fuel, then the lightning tends to weaken because the lightning is based off of the distribution of particles and electrons in the clouds. So with the lightning count decreasing a little bit, that's one good indication that the storms may also be weakening just a little bit. So we are still watching this storm. And I'll turn on our rotation tracker. If there's going to be a spin up, it would be this thing. Out towards Pomona, Centropolis, south of Clinton Lake. The rotation tracker isn't thrilled. I'm not sure when the latest, yeah, it's been a hot second since the Topeka radar updated, about 10 minutes now. There's a little something, again, this is the mid-top of the storm from the Kansas City radar. Maybe in the Overbrook area, a little something. It's not super screaming to me, Joe, but it's, you know, it's, if
There's
something
there, but
yeah, the rotation isn't, well, there you go. So now we do need to go back over to Fox 4 for a tornado warning for Douglas and Franklin County. So control room, if you can let us know when we're able to go back on the air. Baldwin City, Centropolis, Wellsville in this warning. Joe.
All right, so this is a new tornado warning that's just been coming out, and we're going to wait till control room tells us we could get on the air. Fox 4.
Stand by.
All right, tornado warning just coming out now. We've been covering these storms on WDAF Plus for the last couple of hours. This would include the far northern reaches of Franklin County. Ottawa, you're not included in this. and the far southern portion of Douglas County. This is a brand new tornado warning that has just been issued. This is a radar indicated circulation. If you've been watching us on WDAF Plus, we've been tracking this as it's been getting closer to Kansas City. It's a radar indicated rotation that's roughly 4 miles or so west of Globe, moving east at around 45 miles an hour, moving eastward at around 45 miles an hour or so. So we'll go ahead and kind of take you down to what's going on with this storm. We've got a whole line of storms coming into the metro as we speak, and this is what we've been expecting. Here's that tornado warning. The area of concern is approaching perhaps the Baldwin City area. So if you folks live in Baldwin City in particular, I want you to go ahead and take cover from this storm. It's a radar indicated rotation near Globe, or just towards the east of Globe, just towards the east of Overbrook. And I want to put our velocity product on this just to see if we could find it. We were noticing it in some of our radar analysis a little while ago. Tough to kind of make out, but there's a little something going on. Probably right about there. That's going to be east of Overbrook, right along 56 Highway. That seems to be a corridor that we're going to be paying attention to. So a radar indicated circulation now, and as a result, the tornado warning has been issued for Douglas, far southern Douglas County, and northern Franklin County, and then again, that's going to go up until about 9 o'clock or so. So far, the history of this storm is no tornadoes in Osage County, where it was looking a little beefier than it does right now. But because of these little circulations that are trying to develop along the leading edge, that's why they've gone ahead and issued this tornado warning to be on the safe side for southern Douglas County, northern portions of Franklin County. There are actually probably 2 circulations that we need to kind of pay attention to. One circulation could be right there, and the other circulation could be right there. And this is what we observed in our data about 15 minutes ago, how we were starting to see some changes in the way this storm was coming out of Osage County. So again, for the southern Douglas County area, quick little storm track for you. This will affect areas towards Baldwin City. Perhaps we'll see whether or not it moves a little further north. Over towards Vinland, I want you to be in your safe spot. You are in that tornado warning, and there might be a slight little north jog to this. So Vinland, I want you to be in your safe spot. This will be due to you probably closer to about 8:30-ish, generally Vinland down towards Baldwin City. For those towards Centropolis, keep an eye on that circulation. There's a little something going on right there. So for the Centropolis area, here's a little tracker for you. If any of that actually makes it down towards the ground, Centropolis due into you by about 8:20. Baldwin City, another area to watch. Both those circulations due into you by about 8:37. Let's get over to Jacob.
Yeah, Joe, so I'm watching the velocity mode here, the rotation, kind of as you were talking about, and it looks like the strongest rotation right now is essentially on the Douglas-Franklin County line. So we can see kind of the faded greens here next to the brighter reds. It's broad rotation for sure, but it is not far from Centropolis, and this is why the tornado warning was issued for southern Douglas County, northern Franklin County. I do want to point out that Lawrence, University of Kansas, not in this tornado warning. This does include Baldwin City. Centropolis, Norwood, and Wellsville are in this tornado warning, but Ottawa and Pomona are not. So this is kind of near the county line area where we're seeing this rotation. So I'm going to zoom in here.
things that we've observed over the last several hours is that we really haven't seen much in the way of any damaging winds close to Kansas City. Now, there was a tornado that did damage down towards Council Grove, one of the lakes down there. They had some damage with this, but again, the storms don't seem to be quite as nasty now as they were previously up across northwestern Missouri. They were going pretty good. They seem to have weakened just a little bit. So here's our velocity product, and there's no, at least from what I could see, there's no right now real focus. And when you have these tornadoes that develop along the leading edge, they can show up briefly once in one radar scan and then disappear in the next radar scan. They're typically not the type of tornadoes that stay on the ground for all that long, and especially with these thunderstorms coming into the state line area. Here's Centropolis, maybe a little bit of an area of rotation perhaps right in through there. And then, you know, these other storms that are up there, there's Baldwin City west of there, still doesn't look, you know, all that concerning. But the Weather Service wanted to be proactive and issue these tornado warnings. The bigger picture for these storms, these will be passing the area of rotation, at least this part. Here's a whole thing here. You can see it from north of Tonganoxie, Centropolis, down to approaching the Pomona area. So numerous severe thunderstorm warnings all over the place, including the west side of the metro. But this particular core of this particular wedge, if you will, of a line of tornadoes is going to be more focused south of I-70 and perhaps even south of 435 on the south side of Kansas City. So here's 435, goes up and around, and it looks like this would stay more towards the south. Again, for Baldwin City, we want you to be in your safe spot, to be on the safe side. Some pea-sized hail now being reported south of Clinton. In Douglas County, pea-sized hail reported there. New severe thunderstorm warnings are coming out for parts of Douglas, Franklin, Osage County, all associated with that hot mess of a line of storms that continues through portions of eastern Kansas. Also up towards Andrew County, DeKalb County, Davies County, Gentry, Harrison, Mercer, Worth counties, Missouri. Basically a severe thunderstorm warning, baseline storm, 60-mile-an-hour winds possible up there towards far portions of northern Missouri. But again, the concern right now is this tornado warning that we continue to have in northern Franklin and southern portions of Douglas County. The tornado warning will continue for a while longer unless they cancel it. Hopefully they will cancel it prematurely, but we just want to be on the safe side. I know we've got a lot of folks in Franklin County in particular very sensitive about this type of weather, southern Douglas County as well. You can tell this is affecting roughly about 8,000 people. So Centropolis, looks like that little circulation is just north of Centropolis right now. There's Baldwin City. So Baldwin City, there's that 56 highway corridor. So that corridor seems to be, you know, where that circulation is pretty much right on top of 59, 56. You get that general idea near and just towards the west of Baldwin City. So again, just to remind everybody in Baldwin City, if you know anybody down there, send them a text, get them into their safe spot. If that circulation is on the ground or trying to get on the ground, that's going to be just towards the west of 59, just towards the west of 59 highway. Again, there's Baldwin City. So that's our tornado warning. It includes Baldwin City, Overbrook, Wellsville as well. Radar indicated, again, nothing confirmed on the ground, but something that we're keeping a very careful eye on, as is Jacob, and he's got the velocity products all ready to go for you. Jacob.
Yeah, Joe, and I was going to put a storm track here on this rotation. Thankfully, so the Topeka radar has been having some technical issues communicating with the Weather Service and us this evening. Thankfully, we're getting back with a steady connection, so we are getting some of these more frequent and rapid updates, which is good news. So this is just an updated ETA. The storm moving at about 45 miles per hour. Again, the rotation, I would say, is on the lower end of the scale, but it still could produce a brief, quick, weak tornado. I think it would be on the Douglas County side of the line, right near 56 highway at 59 highway. Okay, so just north of Centropolis. This is the latest ETA track. Baldwin City, the rotation will move right overhead in about 10 minutes at 8:30. And if this holds together, it'll pass just north of Wellsville there along 56 Highway by 8:40. And then if, a big if, this holds together and the tornado warning gets extended into Johnson County, Edgerton, Gardner, we'd be watching you guys by 8:45-ish or so. So that's what's kind of coming down the line for this storm. I will say on the reflectivity mode, there is just a little bit of a notch right here, 56 Highway, 59 Highway in southern Douglas County. Again, this is not for Lawrence. This is for Baldwin City. And this is for Centropolis, Norwood, Wellsville. We did just get an update, too, on the tornado warning polygon that now removes kind of the southwestern corner of Douglas County. Centropolis, Baldwin City, Wellsville still in this until 9 o'clock. Again, back to the severe thunderstorm warning here in the KC Metro. We still have this in effect for Leavenworth, Wyandotte, Johnson County. So there's the tornado warning down near Baldwin City. Severe warnings on the west side of the metro. I want to go back to the radar view of these storms up in Leavenworth County and zoom in on that and just make sure that there is no signs of any rotation. I'm not seeing anything impressive, but there is a little bit of a curvature here to the storm north of Baser to Lansing and Leavenworth. So that's something I'll watch here. Not really showing that there's rotation, but if this continues and we even have a little nudger, kind of this bright spot near I-70 south of Tonganoxie, if that kind of gets ingested by this storm, it might try to rotate a little bit. So that's what we'll watch. Yes, you can kind of see here in the box on the right side of your screen, this is the camera from the Speedway looking west into this severe thunderstorm. The lightning has really gone up here in the last couple of minutes. So let's keep that view up because we're going to see the shelf cloud probably approach the Speedway here in the next couple of minutes. I'll go back here to the tornado warning where we still have some weak rotation just north of Centropolis, just west of Baldwin City. Nothing screaming tornado on the ground at me, which is good news, but it could produce a brief touchdown here. 59 Highway, 56 Highway is the intersection where the rotation is right now. Baldwin City in about 5 minutes. The rotation will be overhead. I'm not sure if we're getting any reports yet. Looks like the wind threat may be increasing a little bit now as this line of storms moves towards the KC Metro. Also watching a few pockets of hail out here approaching Centropolis, Clinton Lake. We got some pea-sized hail as well in western Douglas County. I do have a confirmed report of that. And maybe even a little hail core in northern Leavenworth County, just approaching K92, coming into Leavenworth. Wouldn't be shocked if the city of Leavenworth maybe even gets some peas or dime-sized hail out of this storm as it comes through. So that's the situation when it comes to hail. It's not a significant threat. The wind, our primary issue with these storms coming into the metro. And again, we'll kind of watch this leading edge. I'll take a wider view and just give an ETA for the rest of the metro because I know this is going to impact almost all of us over the next, say, 1 to 2 hours. So I'll up the speed because this is speeding up and estimate 50 miles per hour here over the next hour or so. This puts it in Bonner Springs around 8:35. Olathe 8:50, Kansas City between 8:50 and 9 o'clock, Liberty 9 o'clock, Independence, Lee Summit 9:15. That might be a little bit aggressive on the speed there, but this is picking up speed. The wind threat can increase a little bit as this moves towards the state line. I will say, Joe, some impressive lightning increasing there from our Speedway camera in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, definitely a little uptick as far as that goes. We did have some new warnings come out, severe thunderstorm warnings concerning more of the metro. That would include northwestern Miami County, southwestern portions of Johnson County on the Kansas side. Severe thunderstorm warnings go for you until 9:15. Potential for some quarter-size hail,
Woodring Municipal Airport.
60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's what we refer to as a base severe thunderstorm warning. Back to our tornado warning, which continues for southern portions of Douglas County, northern portions of Franklin County. Here's Ottawa. So this is going to be north of 68 Highway. So Ottawa, you are not included in that tornado warning. The circulation, again, radar indicated there might be a little something right there near and just towards the north of Baldwin City. That's 56. And then a little circulation perhaps just towards the west or almost on top now of the 59 highway corridor coming out of Ottawa and heading on up towards Lawrence. So a couple of little small circulations that we're watching, and that's prompted that tornado warning that continues up until about 9 o'clock. And again, for Baldwin City, I want you to be in your safe spot, whether it's that little circulation or the one that's just to your south and west along 59 Highway. Let's just make sure you're in your safe spot for now, just to be on the safe side as this storm continues to move off towards the east. Jacob was mentioning around 40, 45 miles an hour, might be accelerating just, excuse me, just a little bit. So tornado warnings continue for part of our viewing area. That's why we've broken into programming. We've been providing a lot of coverage on our streaming channel, WDAF Plus. We've been staying on the air, or rather on our streaming channel, for the purpose of this storm that was coming out of Osage County. Did have a history of producing tornadoes out in Lyon County. No reports of any tornadoes in Osage County, but there was still enough going on with it as it came out of the county to prompt, again, these new tornado warnings that have been issued for southern Douglas, northern reaches of Franklin County. Again, for Ottawa, and I know I'm repeating myself for Ottawa, but folks in Ottawa are a little jumpy when it comes to this type of weather right now. This is to your north for this one particular cell. There are some other cells coming towards Ottawa. Right now they don't look overly severe, maybe some 60-mile-an-hour winds or something like that. West side of the metro also under severe thunderstorm warnings. Does not include KC-Mo, but we're getting there. We'll probably have some warnings come out for the remainder of the metro here very shortly. Stronger winds, perhaps 40 to 60-mile-an-hour winds possible. Now that these storms are getting into a more populated area, we'll see whether or not we start getting some better reports or more significant reports of some of these stronger winds that are coming on through. Again, large area of a severe thunderstorm watch, and that includes Kansas City. This goes until midnight. The worst of the weather here in Kansas City proper, probably over with within the next hour and a half or so. For areas off to our east, Topeka into Jefferson County, the threat of a tornado for Jefferson County seems to be just about done now, likewise in Shawnee County. But we'll continue to watch things. And just remember, just because we're under a severe thunderstorm watch, along the leading edge, you can get these little spin-ups, these little spinners that can do some damage. So that's why, you know, even though it is a severe thunderstorm watch, we just want you to be aware that there could still be one of these little renegade spinners along the leading edge. Right now, no big indications of that happening, but there are a couple little notches that we're watching. You see that little, I'll stop the radar so you can kind of make it out a little bit more. See this little notch right here. You know, there might be another one down here, maybe a couple of others down here towards Baldwin City where we've got that tornado warning. Those are the little notches that we watch for maybe some stronger winds, perhaps some extreme winds, and perhaps even some tornadoes. Should be brief if there is one at all. Hopefully not. Hopefully we're just transitioning into what we expected during the course of the day, which would be a mainly wind risk for Kansas City along with some small hail. Baldwin City, again, I want you in your safe spot just for a little while longer, maybe about another 10 minutes or so until that little curvature, if you will, to our radar echoes gets a little further east. That's 56 Highway. You folks over towards Edgerton and Gardner, let's just pay attention to what's going on to your west into southern portions of Douglas County. Hopefully no tornado warnings for southwestern Johnson County, but you know, pay attention. Again, with these little areas of potential low-level rotation, we just have to kind of be really watchful of what's going on with some of this activity. Centropolis, now you're getting the thunder, the lightning, but any low-level rotation is now off towards the east of Centropolis. Approaching Baldwin City right now. Again, nothing to my knowledge reported on the ground, no funnel clouds or anything like that to my knowledge. Just basically pea-sized hail reports. That seems to be the most common thing. An updated report from my colleagues at the National Weather Service in Topeka indicating at 8:29, it's 8:32. Emergency management, here we go, reported a funnel cloud along Highway 59 right along the Douglas County border at 8:29. So if nothing else, we know that this storm is producing a funnel cloud as it approaches Baldwin City. So again, another reason why you folks in Baldwin City, safe spot right now. Get yourself down, lowest part of your home, preferably first floor. Don't want you to be upstairs, closet, bathroom, some sort of enclosed room. If you have a basement, that would be even better. Again, Baldwin City, let's make sure you're in your safe spot. We did get a report of a funnel cloud associated with that out there towards 59 Highway. Getting a little tougher now to make out the visuals of these storms, just because now we've lost the sunshine and now we're relying on lightning to kind of illuminate things. But there's enough lightning going on, so the area of rotation is pretty much right on top of Baldwin City right now. There's so much lightning going on to the west. This is quite the light show. So we could get a decent view with the lightning kind of showing the leading edge of these storms. And again, a spotter did report a funnel cloud along 59 Highway towards the west of Baldwin City. That was right along
next to it, so I mean you can
out
visually
there
see it. Oh, it's coming right across the road
western
here.
portions of Douglas County. So
Oh, this has deviant motion. This is only maybe a quarter of a mile right now from hitting that community on the southeast side. There's a police officer up there, you can see.
5 minutes out from intercept.
Oh my goodness, guys. This is literally going directly towards people. This is going directly towards a large community.
Lots of power flashes. It's gonna.
There are over 100 homes
right
near
now.
the Shortstop gas station. If you guys know where that is, it's going directly towards that. There are over 100 homes that are right here that are literally going to be hit by this.
Here it is, guys. Big, tall tornado.
It might literally hit those homes.
Right next to
I
it.
can't believe this.
Very
The
violent.
velocities
I'm
have
right next to
strengthened
it.
on the latest
About
scan.
50 yards away.
Scott is obviously very close to this, but this tornado is going towards over 100 homes. This is a violent tornado right now. Also, somebody keep an eye on Connor Crocs coming out of the east right now.
It's right in front of me.
There's sparks flying.
All right, stationary.
Oh no, there's power flashes.
It's stationary. Just
There are
off
power
412.
flashes. I don't know if this is hitting the community right now, but it might be. This might be hitting homes right now.
Visible again. It looks like it might be trying to clear out on radar.
It is highly, highly visible. It's just sitting in one spot. Oh, jeez.
I think this is literally
it's
hitting
just sitting
homes
in
right
one
now.
spot.
It is hitting a lot of people's homes right now. It's at least very close to it.
It is not moving. It's stalled out. Big stovepipe still.
It has not entered that community
Hey
of 100
guys,
homes,
don't
at
forget
least
to
from what
like
I'm
and
looking at on
subscribe.
radar.
This
It is
Storm
next to it though right now.
On the stream.
And it has deviant motion.
Right
It's
next to the
turning left
tornado. It is
again.
right here
It's like it's
in my
spinning in
face.
circles.
Sorry. You got Brandon Kopic, Jaden Peppenheim. They're coming down. Wow.
It is back on the west side of 30th Street. It crossed over for a second. It's back on the west side, and it's trying to go
It is
north
moving west. It's
towards
moving
over 100
backwards.
homes. It's almost going back south again.
It's
coming
occluding,
towards
but it's
him. Holy crap! It's going right towards Scott.
Sorry. You got Brandon Kopic, Jaden Peppenheim.
I know his stream just went out for a second.
They're coming
This is a
down.
repeat, but it's
Wow.
technically live. This is literally going right back towards him, I think. I don't know if he turned around.
If it moves east,
Scott, I don't know what happened to Scott. Hopefully he's okay. He's fine. The tornado is going back south. It looks like right now. It looks like it's going towards him again.
visual of those cores begin to cross the road.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, tornado emergency right now for
stationary
Enid.
south of 412. I'm on
This tornado has lofted up homes into the atmosphere. It is a violent tornado.
South 30th Street and just south of 412.
Looking at radar, I wouldn't be shocked if this thing is actually trying to reestablish itself.
Oh.
and it might
It's
fail.
lifting up trees right now. This is literally going directly towards Scott. He's got to be careful.
Any motion?
Like it
Yeah, just
literally
in a
has
structure, just in a
completely
structure.
turned. It was
I got
going
on
north.
video.
Now it's going south again. It's going back down towards Southgate Road on the southeast side of Enid.
Maybe. It's drifting.
It's now crossing back over the road.
So it's drifting east.
It's crossing over 30th Street.
Yes, it's now drifting east. It's still south
It
of
is still
412, but
a
not by
violent
far.
tornado
Maybe
that
2
is still in
miles.
progress. You can see some flying debris there. So maybe some cardboard. I don't know what that was. Something was
Wow.
flying. This is an absolutely giant tornado still. This is gonna possibly hit the Enid Municipal Airport. It's going that direction right now. Yeah, you can see this is the RFD surge.
At, South 30th Street.
Connor is also very close to this. There are a lot of chasers now coming up on this tornado. All 3 chasers are inside of this tornado emergency. They're all in this general area. And again, this tornado is now going back to the southeast right now. And it might go directly towards the Enid Municipal Airport. There is a breaking news report. There is one home that is fully collapsed. There are people trapped under a collapsed garage on Gray Ridge Road right now. Multiple entrapments are being reported via scanner. So there are multiple people that are trapped from this tornado. It is still on the ground. I know we don't have a view of it on any of these cameras right now, but it is still on the ground.
Yes.
A new tornado.
Oh, okay, we do. It's still there. You can see it. I mean, it's still a big pipe.
All right, I'm going to do search and rescue. I'm going to see if there's any...
This is
any
going
holes in there.
directly towards the municipal airport right now. So it is still on the ground right now. It's going right towards the municipal airport. Connor's coming out of the north right now. I think he's going to have a view of it here in a second too. But there are people trapped inside of buildings right now. And it nearly just went into a very large subdivision a second ago. This is the last several scans, guys. You might not see something like this for a long time. Look at this. It was going north and it went right back down to the south. And it is still on the ground. And it is still a large pipe going right towards the municipal airport. There's a huge amount of debris that is still in the atmosphere. There might be parts of homes, buildings, fences flying in the sky right now. And they could literally land in your backyard over in Southeast Enid. Got emergency responders here on the scene. There's still a tornado on the right.
I got an officer here. Let's see if he can help. Home is gone.
There's apparently a home gone right here. Where Scott is. I'm trying to look at the map and figure out what. Yeah, there's a couple buildings here. I mean, there are homes too. There's several homes that might have gotten fully destroyed.
All right, I'm going to do search and rescue. Give me just a moment.
Connor, bottom left, is coming up on this right now. Again, we do believe there is a... There's definitely, again, there's 100% still a tornado. There's no doubt, guys. Like, I mean, this is still a very dangerous tornado that is about to hit the municipal airport. This thing's been on the ground for, I think, over 30 minutes now. Initially, it went through the Air Force Base, and it has been a violent tornado this entire time. And there are homes, several homes that are destroyed or heavily damaged. There are several, I don't know how many people are trapped, but there's a lot of people that are trapped right now. Storm Chaser Connor Croft.
Oh, big power flash. Yep.
There's a big, oh, yep, you can see it, guys. The power flash is right there. This tornado is 100% down right now. It's coming up on the municipal airport. They're looking at it from the west side, so they're actually coming up where Scott is, but they're looking towards the tornado.
Get that thing, you can get that thing. How does it look on camera? We're still on camera 1.
If for whatever reason you're tuning in, guys, in this tornado emergency and you're not in a storm shelter or whatever it is, you have to be there.
You had some.
Like, you have to be in it. If you're in this tornado emergency, it doesn't matter where you are. You could be in Enid in the tornado emergency, even though the tornado is 2 miles or 3 miles to your southeast, because debris is going to go flying. And it could go flying for miles. Looks like they can't go fully down that direction because of the fact that there is a there's first responders. You can see there's damage. I mean, there's several first responders there, bottom right. This is a catastrophic tornado that's been ongoing for a while now. Storm Chaser Cannon Colton is rapidly approaching the municipal airport too. He's near Etna right now, or Etna, sorry. He's on the east side of this airport. Tornado be middle left. Connor has it. Okay, Connor has it. Connor has the tornado again.
There's no road option.
Right here, right there on the right, guys. You see it? That's the tornado. It is still down.
This is an emergency. A large and strong tornado.
Yeah,
It is still on the ground right there on the right. It is approaching. It's about to hit the municipal airport. Look at it, guys. It's still down. Oh man. I don't know if there's planes out there on the runway and stuff, but it's literally about to hit it. This is now a particularly dangerous situation. They issued a PDS tornado warning for this area. The tornado emergency will expire in 2 minutes. There is still a huge pipe.
Tornado's still in progress.
That thing's gonna.
Cannon Colton is it's off to the right of him. All right, so Cannon's just south of the airport. It's gonna be off to his right. There is a tornado down. Still.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Osage County, by the way, that's like northern Oklahoma. It's that storm that we were talking about earlier. There's a tornado on the right still. I'm gonna go to the 3-cam view so we just have everybody here. Here's the latest scan. It's stalled again. This tornado is stalled again. Like, it might turn a different direction. This is such a dangerous tornado. I know the tornado emergency is about to expire here, right? There's a few homes here on the southeast side of Enid. The tornado emergency is about to expire. This tornado could go back to the west again. All right, this thing's going everywhere. Look at the hook echo, by the way, compared to the storm. I mean, this is just insane. But this tornado is literally stalled again. It's not moving. Connor's gonna have a really good view of it in 2 seconds, I think. Cannon Colton might have a view too. I don't know. He's coming up on it right now. Connor is very close to it. He's going down, for reference, Market Street, so he's going eastbound on it. There's homes right here on the left and right. There's a lot of trees. Once he gets to 42nd Street, there should be a very clear view of it on the right. Before that happens, Cannon, I think, might have it right there in the middle. I think, yeah, it's down. I think right there in the middle. I think I see it. I don't know for sure. I think that's it though. That would be where it is. Yeah, right here. Let me go to green screen. This right here, I think, is the tornado. And so this is stalled over 42nd Street. And it is now, it's going south again, guys. Look bottom right. It's starting to turn south again. It is turning directly towards Cannon. You can see the tornado on the right. It is going back towards him. Riley has an urgent update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, as of the latest radar scan is once again very quickly intensifying.
Thank you for the update. So, again, this is an intensifying tornado once again. It is not weakening. It has tried to, and it's not. Connor is going to have a view of it. It's going to be on the right here.
It is still nearly stationary just west of the Enid Woodward Municipal Airport.
Roping out up there. Almost on top of us.
It's down to his south. It is, I don't know if he's saying roping out. It can't be. Absolutely no way. It's still down. Look, guys, right there. Cannon has it right there. It's still a big tube. I don't know if Connor's looking at like a different satellite tornado. It is still a big tornado though. Look, this is right next to the municipal airport.
Where's the sad boundaries to Air Force Base?
Once again, guys, this is your tornado. It's right here. It is a huge pipe. It is still a violent tornado.
Gosh, look at that rope out on the bottom.
It's not fully condensed, but it is still violent. Oh my god. This is just unbelievable. You got this large cone condensation funnel, and then at the bottom it is a very small drill bit tornado that is producing, again, probably intense to violent damage. It is now entering the west side of that airport. It is still fully down.
Roping out.
And now it's starting to rope out. We'll see if it actually ropes out or not. I don't think it's going to rope out fully. This thing is still very tight on velocities, and velocities are technically a step ahead of these chasers in a lot of regards. So I'm not sure if this is going to fully rope out, but it does look a little weird. Latest scan is definitely roping out. So hopefully this is near the end, but it is still an intense to violent tornado, and it's going right through the airport right now. And it's quickly racing east into the airport. So what's happening is that it is getting pushed east, and it's actually sped up again. So this is literally right over the airport. I don't know if there's airplanes out here or any like sort of, little, planes. Like, I don't know what small planes are, but it's going right through it right now.
My wipers are going nuts right now.
There's a lot of debris still in the sky, by the way. It is still down, in case you don't see it. It's this right here. It's still on the ground. This is the airport right here.
Nice.
We haven't had any power flashes, but there could literally be like parts of planes being lifted up if there's any parked outside.
You know, this thing was on the ground for a really long time. Would have been insane to see it the whole time. Would have been tornado of the freaking.
It is still down there on the right. This is going to be a major search and rescue.
Can't tell if that's a thing back there.
From here, I think. I mean, this could obviously produce again, and it's still on the ground, guys. I want to remind you, like, it's still down. It's not condensed. It's on the middle
tornado
right.
southeast has officially roped out. It's no longer on the ground.
All right, so Connor said it just fully roped out. It's no longer on the ground. Thank you. I don't know if Connor's going to do any search and rescue or trying to go out in that direction. I mean, there's a lot of chasers here, obviously. You can still see, again, at least the funnel.
A new tornado warning.
Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's still producing damage, maybe minor damage. It's not as strong as earlier, though.
Don't worry, guys. We're gonna get better connections soon. So, like during that multi-vortex.
This tornado has been on the ground for, I think, about 45 minutes, I want to say. It's been on the ground. This tornado's lasted 45 minutes.
Please.
I'm going to go to our 3-cam view here. We'll pull all the chasers on the bottom of your screen. Scott is going to search and rescue right now. Look at the frames here. These are the velocity frames since this thing started. Look at the deviant motion over time. The simulation is just crazy. It went north, it turned back south, and it kept circling. And it literally, from what we've heard, again, guys, there are people trapped right now over near US Highway 81. There are homes that have been heavily damaged or destroyed. Some homes were physically lifted off the ground while this tornado ripped through the Air Force Base. And now there's going to be a lot of cleanup. And I mean, there's a real chance this could try to cycle again and produce it again, but yeah. Riley has an urgent update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, I'm looking just off to the southwest of Kansas City. I believe we have an unwarned tornado on the ground just over the town of Shawnee. This is headed towards Kansas City. 80% confidence that this is a tornado on the ground.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. All right, guys, Kansas City. We got a tornado on the ground. I would agree with that right here. So tornadoes coming right through the south side of Kansas City right now. It's not the same situation, right? But there's a tornado, we think, right here. It's on the south side, and it is heading directly into the Squire Park and Westport areas. So you got to take shelter. There was a small debris signature there for a second, so it at least went through the community of Turner and near, I think that's Argentine. Not sure if it's still on the ground, but at least for that one scan, you could see the little green here. Definitely some debris being lofted up here. So that tornado, if it's still on the ground, is going right towards the south side of Kansas City. There is a home, it looks like, destroyed. This is a damage shot here. Oh my goodness. This is the damage right along Southgate Road. We brought Southgate up road multiple times. But there's major damage there. Riley has an urgent update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, as of about 3 minutes ago, they have declared a mass casualty incident just off to the south and east of Enid, Oklahoma.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. So this is a mass casualty incident. This home here is leveled. Can't even really see it. Damage is significant from what we're seeing. And for reference, this is a home that, let me just give you guys kind of an idea where this is at. I believe it's right here. Riley has another urgent update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, we have a camera that we're pushing here in a second. Power flashes in Kansas City. So there's 100% a tornado on the ground headed into Kansas City.
All right. Thank you, Riley, for the update. We got a tornado on the ground in guys, Kansas City. I don't know if anybody's, I hope people are tuning in right now from Kansas City. There are power flashes, and we think there is a tornado right now moving into Kansas City. It's not warned. So we got to be taking shelter if we're in Kansas City right now. At the bare minimum, we are going to have some sort of very strong winds. But we think there is a tornado right now moving into Kansas City. This is a live shot here from I-35 southbound. It's looking north near I-635. It would be located near Armourdale in Riverview. It's basically right near that I-70 corridor, and it's moving into the south side of Kansas City, Missouri. There was a debris signature about 5 minutes ago. We saw power flashes on that camera a second ago too, and we're confident that there is a tornado now moving into this area. So you need to take shelter. If you guys have friends or family in Kansas City, please make sure they're aware of this. I know there's a severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds, but there was a tightening on radar, and we do believe that was a tornado, and we think there is still one in progress right now. So please, guys, if you guys have friends or family here, let them know. Like, you need to alert them. Somebody can switch out slot 2 for a camera there too, if we have anything. We got another live shot there, bottom middle. That's looking directly at the storm. Let me see what we got here. This is looking directly at the storm from Kansas City. This is right on I-70. You're looking middle left probably for a tornado. This is a very damaging storm right now, though, in Kansas City. You can see the wind picking up here. This is over near Roland Park. And we just had power flashes moments ago, getting very windy along that I-435 corridor. We do believe there was a tornado just moments ago here. Saw it on radar. Very dangerous conditions right now. If you guys are in Kansas City, we got to be staying away from windows. And lowest floor possible in case there is still a tornado down. There was a camera apparently that had really intense winds that may have gone out. So, again, there's reason to believe, at least at the minimum, we have damaging winds moving through the city. There could, again, be a tornado, too. There's actually rotation up here north of Kansas City going in towards the Kearney area. So we got to watch that closely. This is embedded in rain. It's going to be moving right towards Kearney, I think, near Smithville. So that could also produce a tornado. We got to watch that closely. All right, no longer a tornado emergency. We do not have a PDS tornado warning anymore. There are a lot of storm chasers here that, again, I believe are looking at like damage and stuff like that. Obviously, Scott Peak is there on the bottom right. There's a home completely destroyed. Let me see if we can get another one of these chasers on here. There's a lot of chasers here that are basically trying to help here with cleanup efforts. This is Cannon Colton. He's going down the road on the west side of the municipal airport. There's a lot of damage on the right side of this road from my understanding. But looks like he's turning around. We're gonna keep an eye on him. So far, this is the only shot that we have right now of a destroyed home. There are dozens more of these, though, further west that we will probably have views of here soon. I'm not going to say the storm's done either. There's a chance that it could cycle. We now have a tornado warning north of Kansas City. This is what we were just talking about near Gladstone, heading up into Liberty. There's a live shot bottom left of your screen located directly in Kansas City. We got really intense winds moving through Kearney as well as Liberty and Cellular Springs and Lawson. You guys are in the path of a potential tornado. We got to be taking shelter right now and putting as many walls between you from the outside as possible and getting away from windows. This is a dangerous storm that is also trying to right now produce a tornado. So take shelter now if you're in this tornado warning. By the way, guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We do weather coverage like this all the time. And again, obviously, this has been a very, I would say, pretty horrific what we've been seeing here over the last few hours. We've had multiple tornadoes, obviously, and this was by far the one that happened there near the Air Force Base south of Enid is by far the worst one I think we've, I don't know, it might be the worst one we've covered this year, to be honest. I mean, that's the damage is, it looks really bad. And we're going to see even more damage shots here. I mean, Scott looks like he's driving around now.
I'm breaking out of it right now.
Yeah, no precip around.
It sounds like our storm chaser, CJ Ziegler, he has a Spotlight drone, and he's en route right now to go look at all the damage. So we're coordinating that with him right now. And so we will have a drone view of the damage here very, very soon, which, again, it's a Spotlight drone. That means we'll be able to see the actual damage from above. And right now, Scott here, he's driving along South Gate Road. I think he's going west towards more of that damage.
2114 East Southgate Road.
But one of our very own chasers, you only see it here on this channel and his channel. You know, he's gonna have a view of that here soon. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. Once again, if you're just tuning in, tornado warning in effect north of Kansas City. We did have a possible tornado on the west side of Kansas City moments ago. We got very intense winds right now, ripping right through Kansas City, going into Independence and Buckner, Grain Valley, Lee Summit. We got to get ready for this. Really intense winds right now, moving to the east-southeast. We still have more tornado warnings outside of this. I mean, we have a tornado warning still for Schindler in northern Oklahoma. This one, in my opinion, though, I don't think is very concerning. I'd say the most concerning storm is still this one that just produced a tornado here in Oklahoma. I mean, there's still definitely wind and maybe even a potential for a tornado with this thing. So that's still dangerous. Also, Storm Chaser Nick Gorman's pretty close to the remnants of that storm, too. We go back over to Scott Peak again. He is currently surveying the damage. He's also trying to do some search and rescue efforts. He's going right down, you know, Southport Road. Wind and maybe even a potential for a tornado with this thing. So, you know, getting a little bit closer. That's still dangerous. To some of that damage, he's approaching the 16th Street. So just kind of giving you an idea of where he's at. That's, again, kind of close to where some of this damage is. And I do want to remind you, like, even if you see these lights on here, it doesn't mean there's no damage. I mean, this is just an area that might have not been directly hit by the tornado. So, you know, we're going to keep an eye on him. I'm going to keep him bottom right in case we do get more damage with him. And then obviously we'll have a drone view of this damage here pretty soon. CJ's right here, so he's about, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes out until we have some actual drone footage. So we'll be watching that. Real quickly, I haven't really talked about Iowa in a while. Des Moines, we're kind of done. But down to the south, we got tornado warnings. Back over to the south of Indianola, near Houston, Corydon, west of Chariton. These are still rotating here. It might produce a tornado. I mean, we got rotation here going right towards Chariton. Got I don't really see a whole lot of rotation here. Houston, that's going to go up towards Albia here soon. For the most part, though, our severe weather threat in Iowa is mostly a damaging wind threat with a possibility still for an isolated tornado or two, I would say, for the next hour or two. These are still back down towards Kansas City. We need to be, again, taking shelter if you live over here near Gladstone. I don't really see a whole lot of rotation here. Houston, that's going to go up towards Albia. Go ahead and go to the terminal radar site here. There actually might be a tornado right now on the ground in Missouri. With a possibility. That is a very tight and strong area of rotation right there. And the latest scan's a little bit broader, but there may be a tornado that might have just hit Nashua. So Nashua, just north of Gladstone, may have just been directly hit by a tornado. Go ahead and go to the terminal radar site here. This is back over to Scott. You got a car off the side of the road here. That is a very tight and strong area of rotation right there. And the latest scan's a little bit broader, but there may be a tornado that might have just hit Nashua. By the way, guys, I want to give you guys a heads up. I'm obviously not in control of what's going to be shown on these cameras, right? But there could be, again, things that you might not want to see, like damage. Might be a little bit graphic to sensitive audiences, so if you don't want to look, I mean, we're going to have this on and off, so. By the way, guys, I want to give you guys a heads up. Obviously, there's a lot of search and rescue ongoing right now, but just want to give you guys a heads up. On these cameras, right? But there could be, again, for anybody that might be sensitive to that type of stuff. Like damage. Hey, Daniel from the Super Chat. Tornado sirens are going off around me. I'm literally less than a mile from the edge of the warning north of Kansas City, Missouri. Well, I mean, this right here is definitely very close to producing, if not is producing, a tornado. So if you're in Kearney, Exile, Springs, or Crystal Lakes, we got to be taking shelter. Rotation's been pretty strong on that here for the last 2 minutes. No debris signature, but doesn't mean we don't have a tornado. There's also a little bit of rotation directly northeast of Kansas City, going directly towards Buckner. So if you live in Buckner near Independence, we got to be taking shelter for the damaging wind threat too. If you're in Kearney, Exile, or Springs, or Crystal Lakes, we got to be taking shelter. Rotation's been pretty strong on that here for the last 2 minutes. No debris signature, but doesn't mean we don't have a tornado. This is, these are, all these green dots you guys see on the map right now, those are all storm chasers. All these circles are also chasers, kind of with us, but there's actually there's a lot of chasers in Enid right now that are more likely than not helping with search and rescue. And right now, I don't see a whole lot of a tornado threat anymore with this storm. I mean, it could try to do something as it goes southeast, but the odds of that are, I would say, pretty low. I mean, we got storm chasers on this in case it does want to produce again. I'd say the odds aren't very high. New severe thunderstorm warning in southern Iowa. This one's going to be for Centerville and Knoxville. for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and there's also a tornado possible tag on this. So that area of thunderstorms is moving to the east-northeast right now. The odds of that are, I would say, pretty low. Little update for those that might be near Wichita. Wichita is kind of lucked out, I think, with the significant severe weather today. We still got damaging winds and a low tornado risk with this line of thunderstorms moving down to the southeast. It is going to be going towards Fredonia, Humboldt, and Iola and Garnett. Burlington and surrounding areas mostly looking at damaging winds right now. Got a little bit of broad rotation going in the direction of Garnett, Kansas, so just get ready for this if you're over there. Generally speaking, near Ottawa, it's mostly damaging winds. I would say the tornado threat's low, but not zero. I honestly think the highest tornado threat right now across the board is actually with this line up here near Kansas City. So that's what at least what I'm seeing right now. This is another live view from the south side of Enid near the Vance Air Force Base. And a lot of power poles down. You can see all the power poles down right there. You got like debris scattered everywhere. Tornado threat right now across the board is actually this line up here near Kansas City. So that's what at least what I'm seeing right now. There are power lines down in the roadway. If you are out and about right now near Enid and you're trying to go help, I really would. I'd leave it to the first responders. And a lot of power poles down. You can see all the power poles down right there. You got like debris scattered everywhere. There's a lot of first responders on the scene, and you don't really want to try to get involved in that. Got more trees down the roadway. I really would. I'd leave it to the first responders. These are some of the damage sites on Southgate Road. There's a lot of first responders on the scene, and you don't really want to try to get involved in. Anybody tuning in right now from Enid in the chat? Got more trees down the roadway. The storm does still have a little bit of rotation, by the way. I don't think it's going to produce, but there's a little bit down here, the south of Fairmont. Some of the chasers have had very little lowering. I don't think it's anything too concerning right now, but obviously definitely need to still keep an eye on this. Got multiple people from Enid right now in the chat. Hey, Mr. for the $10 super chat, what do you think about Tulsa, Oklahoma tonight? Honestly, well, it's crazy because I said Enid. I thought it was just going to be isolated wind and hail. I don't think, though, Tulsa is in the conversation here for a significant tornado tonight, but guys, I would 100% have ways to receive alerts. That is the most important thing with these types of severe weather events. Very crucial that you have multiple ways to receive weather warnings. Whether that's weather radio, phone, or Max Alert, like where I give you a phone call basically if you're in a tornado warning. That's the best way to get alerts. So in case something does happen, again, we're gonna be live here, right? But if something happens and you go to sleep in an hour, like you want to have ways to receive alerts just in case. This environment down here is extraordinarily favorable for tornadoes, as we have seen today. The significant tornado parameter values are still over 5, and that's favorable enough for tornadoes here. Riley has an urgent update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, we just got our first update from the ASOS station at Vance Air Force Base. This is not in the direct or in the middle of the circulation. There's actually quite a bit outside of it, but they did confirm wind speeds of 107 miles an hour via that ASOS. So that is an anemometer wind speed of 107 miles an hour outside of the circulation.
That's pretty crazy. Thank you for the update. So obviously, for those that are wondering, no, the tornado itself was not 107 miles per hour. That is outside of the circulation. Also, this is what I'm talking about, guys. I mean, we talked about it earlier in the stream, but these are your significant tornado parameter values as of 9 o'clock. That environment is insane. I mean, we have values around 8, 9, and 10 in some spots. Like, this is a very favorable environment for tornadoes, and it is still a favorable environment right now. And so if for some reason one of these storms could try to mature and organize again, it could be this one. Like, if it tries to organize again, it might try to produce another tornado. If you guys live down near I-35 Perry, we got to watch this like a hawk. I mean, we got a lot of chasers on it right now. There is a lowering right here. You can see this is Storm Chaser Storm Runner Media, and so there is a legit chance it could organize again and maybe try to drop another tornado. We need to be really watching this. It could be this one. If it tries to organize. Going back over to Kansas City, we do have a tornado warning north of Kansas City. Rotation right now is moving into Kearney and Cellular Springs. There's also a little bit of rotation going towards Missouri City and Oric, so 2 different areas that we're looking at, both moving to the east-northeast. So we're watching these closely. None of them appear to be on the ground right now. This one may have actually been on the ground back over in Nashua, Missouri, but as of right now, it's going towards Kearney and Lawson. And it might end up producing another tornado here down the line. So 2 different areas that we're looking at, both moving to the east-northeast. So this storm might be cycling, or might be organizing right now. It's starting to get that hook shape. This one may have actually been on the ground. This thing might become tornadic again here soon. I'm definitely concerned that this might actually be organizing, and it's kind of moving more to the east towards Perry. So this storm might be cycling. It's going to be going towards Orlando, Mulhall, and Stillwater. It's starting to get that hook shape. We got to really watch this in case it does cycle. Pawnee, Perkins, any of those areas, north of Oklahoma City. Definitely concerned that this might actually be organizing, and it's kind of moving. So this is a very dangerous supercell right now. Let me go ahead and go back to our 3-cam view. Let's get Storm Runner Media in slot 1. They're looking at it pretty closely. And Nick Gorman there as well. So we got multiple chasers in this general area. Also, as right now, drones cannot be flown in this area because of a FAA shutdown. So they have shut down any sort of drone usage over here in that area of damage. Any drone usage, I would guess, is probably going to be first responders if there's any drone usage happening. So more likely than not for search and rescue purposes. But there is, at least for right now, CJ is trying to somehow get CFR exemption.
A new tornado warning.
I don't know what that really means, but basically trying to get exempt from that whole thing. Got a new tornado warning in southern Iowa. This will be for Chariton going towards Albia. This is a pretty strong area of rotation as well. That's going into Russell, Zero, and Melrose. You got to take shelter now if you're in this tornado warning and put as many walls between you from the outside as possible and get away from windows. All right, this is a dangerous storm. It is moving to the east-northeast. Ottawa and Oskaloosa, you guys are going to be in the path this year soon. If you guys are wondering what these are special weather statements, by the way. Those little purple boxes out in front of our storms. The tornado warning west of Bartlesville, I'm not seeing as much rotation anymore. We're going to keep an eye on it, but it's not as strong as earlier. I'd say it's more of a wind threat. But if you live over in Bartlesville and Dewey, definitely have that tornado action plan ready to go. We're going to keep an eye on this. It's in a little bit of a radar hole, so we don't have the best view of it, but storm might try to do something down the line. And we're really watching this storm closely again. This one, again, produced that large tornado not that long ago, and it might try to do that again here soon. Huge shout out to Kentucky with the $100 super chat. Put some W's in the chat there for Kentucky. Really appreciate that. Some of you guys super chat during that huge tornado. Kentucky said praying hard and hope everyone takes shelter and is okay. Hope this helps. They're going to need probably a lot of help. And hopefully this doesn't produce again. But I mean, every chaser's still on it in case it does, because it's a huge storm. Also, shout out to Kelly with the $50 super chat. Found you last week with the Bellevue, Iowa storms. Now you're my go-to for weather. Thanks for you and all the chasers. It is obviously really care about the people and want them to be safe as well. Thank you again. Well, I appreciate the very generous super chat. I'm glad I can help. I mean, this has just been an unbelievably crazy, storm. And I mean, this is not the only one. Like, we've had other ones. Like the other one there in far northern Oklahoma earlier, too. That thing produced. There's actually, back over here near Kansas City, we might have a tornado here trying to develop going towards Richmond. We got another one near Kearney right now. That's going up towards Cellular Springs near Lawson. So we got two different areas of rotation there, both moving to the east-northeast. There's actually another one near Plattsburgh, too. We got 3 areas of rotation right now. Oh, that's going to be a tornado, guys. This needs a warning.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
That timing's pretty crazy. We have a new tornado warning here just south of Plattsburgh. Kingston's included in this. We definitely need another one too, north of Independence. There's 2 areas of strong rotation. This one's probably on the ground or very close to it. If you live in Lilly, Haynesville, Guyton, Converse, Bardesville, you got to take shelter right now and put as many walls between you from the outside as possible and get away from windows. All right, this area of rotation is dangerous. It's moving to the east-northeast, and it is likely a tornado that is down right now. And the other one is not far from it. That's right on I-35. And this one near Independence is also pretty strong. That one could be on the ground too. We're going to see if we had a debris signature or anything. But that's right there east of the Smithville Lake Recreation Area. Probably a tornado in progress here, just east of the Kansas City area. We got multiple areas of rotation right now ongoing. They are one for the $10 super chat. Thoughts on Lee Summit, Blue Springs area to the east of Kansas City? My phone's messed up. I think it's going to be mostly a win for you guys. They also, Peter, for the $5 super chat. It's the National Weather Service watching Max. They might be.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Got another tornado warning for Osage County, Oklahoma. I'll go that in a second. I gotta sit down. I've been standing for 5 hours straight. All right, we have a new tornado warning over in Oklahoma. That's gonna just be west of Bartlesville. So Pawhuska, you gotta take shelter. The Joseph H. Williams Tallgrass Prairie Preserve is in the path of this. This has been literally tornado warned, I think, for the last, I want to say 4 hours. I mean, we've been live almost since the storm started. This is the one that produced the tornado over to the west of Newkirk near I-35. It is not a very fast-moving storm, but it is moving down to the south and east, and it's going to be moving towards Bartlesville here soon.
A new
got to take shelter. We got another tornado warning in Missouri, and that is going to be for the storm east of Kansas City. I like this warning as well. We were just talking about this a few minutes ago. They have gone ahead and issued a tornado warning for those in Missouri City, Orick, Buckner, Henrietta, Lexington, and Richmond. You've got to take shelter and put as many walls between you from the outside as possible and get away from windows. This is also a dangerous storm right now with strong rotation moving right into Orick over the next few minutes. This is almost undoubtedly a tornado, by the way, near Lilly. This is near the Block Air Village Airport, just north of Kearney. That is almost undoubtedly a tornado right now. We don't have, that's the terminal radar site, which doesn't have correlation coefficient. The regional site does, and it doesn't show that tightening, but likely a tornado there. We got 3 tornado warnings all east of Kansas City right now. Thank you, Savage, for the $20 super chat. I'm in Kearney right now. Thanks for the extra few minutes of lead time. No problem. Enid got smoked. Enid really didn't get hit that hard. It was the south side. It was near the Vance. It was more near the Air Force Base. This is what the storm looks like right now. I mean, we have Storm Media looking at it. There is like a hook that's been trying to form. It's not super organized, but you can see the large shelf. I mean, it could still become tornadic again as it moves down into closer to central Oklahoma. I'm not ruling it out. So it definitely could cycle. This is still a extremely dangerous supercell with golf ball sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah,
off to the left there is like that kind of area of interest.
You might have to go to
Scott is still out there doing some kind of search and rescue stuff out there. So we got him bottom right. Get your devices charged now. I agree. You know, what's really crazy is I'm going to be honest. Like, I didn't think today would be this crazy. It has turned into a very crazy day. Things uptrended a lot over the last like 7 hours. Like about a few hours before we went live, the cap did not look like it was going to be a thing in Oklahoma. And it really wasn't in northern Oklahoma at all. And these storms have been just absolutely, I mean, they've been violent. Thank you, Boom, for the $20 super chat. We have thought about setting up a nonprofit, guys. It's just really difficult. I mean, it takes a lot of work to do that. I mean, it's not like an overnight task. You got to approve, you got to like apply for it. We need a team for it. It's a very large organization thing. We're trying to figure out one we can at least work with, but ideally we want to work with somebody that we can trust, sort of thing. So we need to like try to figure out, you know, who could work for, you know, what we're doing, what we want, like in terms of nonprofit stuff. So, because that would be the easiest way to do it, working with somebody else. Doing it on our own will be very difficult. We don't have that large of a team.
So I can see that so I can use that.
right side of the screen, guys. I think there might be some kind of wall cloud over there.
Okay, Storm Media thinks there's a wall cloud on the right side. This is the same storm.
Tornado warning.
They have issued a tornado warning for this storm now. This storm is again tornado warned, and there is a wall cloud on the right side of the screen. Go back over to radar right now. There might be a tornado dropping near Covington. So this is going to try to produce again, it looks like. So if you guys live in this tornado warning, we got to be taking shelter and putting as many walls between you from the outside as possible. This is a storm that already has produced a violent tornado on the south side of Enid and might be trying to do it again here just west of Perry. Completely rain wrapped right now. Is Iowa getting any better? I just got issued a warning. Iowa's going to be, for the most part, more of a wind threat at this point. There is a low tornado risk, but it's definitely not zero. I want to reiterate though, guys, if you are in this tornado warning, we've really got to be taking shelter. This is a very dangerous storm. It has already produced, again, a violent tornado. Storm Chaser, Storm Media does have a wall cloud on the right side of your screen, right behind the windmills there.
itself up again. I think it's finally.
You can see the large shelf cloud, but that wall cloud we kind of buried back in there on the right. You can see it there actually, the right side. There's so much lightning with this storm, and it's trying to drop a tornado right now near Covington.
Shoot east towards Covington on this road.
Well, Chad, we're tornado warned again.
There might be a tornado down. It would be buried back in the rain. This is on radar here. This would not be a really strong tornado, but that's the area of interest. At least one of the areas of interest. Another one could develop here just south of Covington too. This one's completely rain wrapped. So if there's a tornado, it's going to be near 490 and 3000 roadway, near 3010. Only about 3.5 miles maybe to the west of Covington, so it's not far. Also got to watch this storm near Ponca City. It's not really rotating that much. It's more of a wind and hail threat, but something we'll have to keep an eye on. We still have a tornado warning here for the Pawhuska and north of Barnesville area. Bartlesville, definitely get ready for that tornado action plan. The storm is going to be arriving to your location around 10 o'clock or so. So if you live in Bartlesville or Dewey, definitely need to have that severe weather action plan ready to go as that storm approaches. That has also been a very dangerous supercell today. We'll have another radar scan in a second. Storm Intermedia
I didn't touch that button. No, one of these. I didn't touch either one of those.
is looking in the direction of where there would be a tornado. Be off to the right. Highly electrified storm here. Thank you, Eric, for the $10 super chat. Thankfully, Northern Iowa didn't see much.
I'm aware, but streaming audio.
Yeah, today's just been insane. Also, thank you, Ruth, for the $20 super chat. Never even heard of that song. Thank you for the super chat. Downtown Kansas City, a siren's going off. That'd be for damaging winds. Off to the east of Kansas City, we've probably had a couple tornadoes now with this like slew of tornado warnings. These have had pretty strong rotation this entire time. We got one area of strong rotation going directly into Richmond, Missouri here in about 5 minutes. The one near Lawson has gotten broader, and then this one over near Lathrop has also gotten broader. So that one probably produced two, but it's not as strong as before. That is moving over I-35 right now, and we'll be going towards Kingston, Cowgill, and as well as Elmira. So that'll be moving northeast. But the most concerning one, in my opinion, right now is this one going towards Richmond. We got more damage from Storm Chaser Scott Peak.
I did my...
In the south side of Enid, got more trees down the roadway. He's helping clean those up. Shout out to PBT with the $25 super chat saying, keep up the great work. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you also to... Oh, where it went. I missed it. Thank you, Watson for becoming a member. Good shout out to Andrew with the $20 Venmo donation. Max looks so sleepy. Well, there's a reason, guys. For those that have not been watching today, I was on a flight from California to get back here for a live stream today. I left at 5 a.m. I had a one stop in Denver. I got 2 hours of sleep. I think it was like between 10 and 1. And I have not slept since. So I'm literally running off like 2 hours of sleep. I don't even know how I was able to go live because like I was so out of it earlier. But I had 2 coffees and some soda. And I've been actually doing pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised I've actually been able to like hold in there because it is not easy doing a live stream like this with only 2 hours of sleep. And I did not have much the nights before. Like I've had 18 hours of sleep over the last 4 days. I was at YouTube Creator Summit. For those that don't know what that is, it's basically like the top 100 YouTube creators get invited to go to a summit, which was in California. And met a lot of cool people. You guys might have seen on Facebook and Twitter all the cool stuff, but I got a lot of cool stuff too. I got like shoes and stuff. I'm gonna show you guys like what I got from it at some point if it gets quieter tonight, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of people. Thank you, Donna, for the $50 super chat saying thank you for saving lives, Max and Riley. Appreciate that. It does look like this storm over here in northern Oklahoma near Pawhuska has become outflow dominant, so the risk of this producing a tornado is at least a little bit lower going towards Bartlesville. You can see the rotation's not as strong. I mean, there's some greens and reds mixing, but it's not as confined as what we saw earlier. Hey, Truck for the super chat. Also, thank you, Deb, for the super chat. You mentioned the states too. I try my best. Afro with the super chat says, my wife loves you more than she loves me. Please help. That's a you problem, man. Thank you, Dick, for the super chat. What does the WX mean in your name? Weather. If you guys don't know what WX means, it literally means weather. It's just an abbreviation. Back over to our Missouri tornado warning. We still have a strong area of rotation right now, moving right towards Richmond and Lexington. So you got to take shelter if you are in that tornado warning. The one near Lathrop has gotten broader over the last several minutes, but still stay in your safe place if you live over near the Kingston area. Rotation near Lawson's gotten broader. They went ahead and they're going to allow that tornado warning to expire, it sounds like. We still have 2 tornado warnings in Iowa. Really only one. The other one out here to the west is kind of done with. Right now, the main concern for Iowa is damaging winds. There's a little bit of rotation near Chariton, going towards the Oskaloosa and Ottawa areas. But in my opinion, I think the tornado risk is pretty low right now. Lathrop, thank you. Lathrop, Missouri. Over the last several scans, rotation's gotten broad again on the supercell just outside of Enid. This is the one that did produce the violent tornado.
Come to the rescue here. Want to double back and get him? He's down here. Oh, he's down.
We also have Storm Chaser CJ Ziegler, who is coming up on some of the damage. So he is now moving into, he's getting close to the Air Force Base. Shout out to Sharon with the 5 Gifted memberships. Appreciate that. So he's going down. This is going to be a Southgate Road as well. Southgate Road had a lot of damage.
It's humid outside. Oh my god.
He's only about a half a mile from that Air Force Base, which is where there's major damage. Need quick for the super chat. Appreciate that. I know it's not over, but you and Riley did very well tonight. Hope you saved some lives. Hope so too. Thank you, David, for the super chat. So he's moving into town right now. He's located right here. The tornado went right through this area generally. So he's going to probably look for some of that damage. Again, he does have a drone. I'm not sure if he got the exception or whatever, but at the bare minimum, we have to see some damage on the ground there. Thank you, Andrew, for the Venmo donation. Thank you also, Brenda, for the $20 super chat. How much would you charge to do a meet and greet? I have no clue. The weather would have to be quiet. Thank you, Jenny, for the $20 super chat. Always in support. Appreciate that. Thank you also, Poke, for the super chat. I did do a meet and greet at Chaser Summit back in February. That was free, technically, if you had admission to the event. But I do free meet and greets if you see me in public. I was on a plane from Denver to Orlando earlier, and this guy was like right behind me. He's like, I really love your stuff, and we just had like a 20-minute conversation about stuff, just like before he took off. It's pretty cool. I mean, I do that with anybody that I see. I mean, try to be social. I'm a very talkative person. Hey, Sports, are we becoming a member? Tornado warning for the Richmond area has been condensed a little bit. Not as strong as before. It's moving up into Hardin and Richmond right now. And the one near Holt has gotten broader. These storms still could produce tornadoes. I think there's going to be really quick hitting. It looks like we have more damage here over in the south side of Enid. We got a lot of trees down. A lot of chasers and other people are showing up to kind of help. And again, if you don't know what you're doing, don't go out and try to help, because it really would probably hurt the process more than help it. Especially with it being nighttime, it's really just dangerous to be out there. Shout out to Jennifer with the $20 Venmo donation. Thank you for the early heads up in Kansas City. No problem. We've at least seen, again, one entire house basically destroyed. We're going to see if CJ is able to use his drone or not. He's going to be bottom middle of your screen, but he's near the Vance Air Force Base. So we're going to keep an eye on him. Hey, Foo for the super chat. Florida needs some rain. They do. I do want to remind you guys, there is a lot of severe weather coming up beyond this. We still got severe weather tonight. We got 7 tornado warnings, but this is going to be a multi-day outbreak. I mean, tomorrow won't be as significant, I think. Right, we got like a low tornado risk. Saturday looks big. It's in the same area. Sunday and Monday look huge. So, guys, this is only the beginning. it's only the beginning of this like really intense severe weather stretch. I think tomorrow will be the quietest day. We'll still have severe weather. We might even go live still, but it'll probably be the quietest day out of this entire stretch of significant severe weather. So it's really important that, you know, if you live in these areas, you gotta be staying weather aware. We're gonna have live streams probably every single day. Maybe not tomorrow, we'll see, but 100% we're gonna have live streams, you know, almost every major event. Definitely Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I think. So thank you, Craig, for the $20 super chat. Just checking in. How does St. Louis look tonight? St. Louis mainly looking at a wind threat. That'll be late. I don't really think it's gonna be anything severe. There is some rotation developing near Lawson. No tornado warning for this. It's gotten stronger over the last few minutes. I would support a tornado warning here just south of Elmira. Maybe even including Elmira here. Going off to the northeast towards the Cowgill area. So that's going up towards Georgia, or not Georgia, Missouri 13 right now. Richmond tornado warning still valid. It's not as strong rotation as before, but still going. Good shout to Kane with the $50 super chat saying thank you for providing amazing nonstop coverage and always providing accurate, honest, and inspirational lives and videos. I appreciate that. We still have 7 tornado warnings, which is actually crazy. I don't. We're gonna have a few of them expire here in a second, but we're gonna have 1, 2, 3. We'll have 5 still. Yeah, we'll have 5 tornado warnings still. We got a tornado warning still in 2 in Oklahoma right now. The one off to the north near north of Tulsa, that one's become outflow dominant, so it's not as concerning. But this one is still rotating. Is Ada, Oklahoma going to get anything? I think if you're down like in this area, you're kind of done. Anywhere like around or north of the Interstate 40 corridor, like there's still a risk of severe weather. This supercell, I don't know if it's going to produce again. It's going to try. It's a very powerful storm, obviously, but there's a lot of updrafts that have gone up. And so it's gotten tougher to keep this storm actually discreet. And this is the one that did produce that, again, that large tornado near Enid. It's a very slow moving storm, and flooding could actually become a concern here near Fairmount and surrounding areas. Even though it's not a huge risk, I'd say it's definitely a risk. How's Appleton, Wisconsin look? I think you guys are chilling. Liberty, Missouri. I don't know where Liberty is. I'm just going to kind of give you a general rundown, though. The highest tornado threat for the next, 2 hours out of this line of thunderstorms will be kind of in this general area. Down here to the south, mostly wind. Off to the north, mostly wind. And that includes Iowa. But there's still a low tornado risk. It's very important if you guys live anywhere in this area that you have, again, multiple ways to receive weather alerts. And if you need an extra way to receive a weather alert, you can get Max Alert, which is where I give you a phone call if you're included in a tornado warning or a significant severe thunderstorm warning. And you might wake up from that. It could be the difference between you waking up during a warning and not. And it's for your exact location. So if you want to check out Max Alert, it's maxalert.net. Lots of you guys have signed up for it. I definitely recommend getting it, especially for an event like tonight where it could kind of lean into the overnight hours a little bit. I wouldn't say it's going to go past 12 o'clock really for most of these areas, but it could continue for a little longer for sure. We no longer have any tornado warnings in Missouri. They canceled all the tornado warnings in Missouri. We have 2 tornado warnings in Oklahoma. We still have one in Iowa right now near Chariton, and that's going towards Albia. All right, so that's going towards Albia, Blakesburg, and Lavilia, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't see a whole lot of rotation on this, though, anymore. I don't know if we're going to see a tornado warning continuation, but definitely get ready if you're in Oskaloosa, Ottawa, and Bloomfield for 60 to 70 mile per hour winds and at least a possible tornado risk as this area of storms continues to track to the east-northeast. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings over in Wisconsin. Mostly looking at damaging winds. There is a tornado possible tag on our severe weather here over near Whitehall. So low-end tornado potential right now in western Wisconsin. I don't see anything that would make me think we're going to get a tornado warning here soon, but we'll see. Lancaster and Platteville, we also got a severe warning there for 60 mile per hour winds. And Iowa City near West Liberty, this is also a severe warning for 60 mile per hour damaging winds right now. Large line of thunderstorms lining up all the way from Des Moines back into southern Kansas. Mostly wind right now, but we definitely could still see brief tornadoes. No active tornado warnings as of right now in Missouri. This is back over to Storm Chaser CJ Ziegler. He's located just south of Enid. Here's some of the damage. There's first responders there. We got an ambulance, and I can't tell what that is right there on the right. Maybe a fire truck. A lot of first responders on the scene here. Hey, Parser for the sewer chat. Love what you do. What are your thoughts on Joplin tonight? Isolated damaging wind threat. Low tornado threat. So we got emergency responders there. I know Scott has been still cleaning up too. There's all sorts of trees down, and there's, again, homes that are damaged or destroyed here as well. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that activity. The tornado warning that is in effect for the same storm that produced that tornado is still in effect technically until 10 o'clock Central Time. I'm not sure if it's going to last that long. Rotation is going to be moving outside of the warning here soon. Pretty rain wrapped, and it's going to be moving into Perry and then coming up on I-35. So if you guys live over in Perry, you definitely need to still stay alert here as the storm does move southeast. It will also go towards Stillwater, Cushing, maybe down the line Tulsa. They did also cancel the tornado warning for Pawhuska, so we're down to 2 as of right now. It'd be sweet if you had a date in the overlay somewhere. Sometimes it'd be nice to see the date on archive footage. I actually agree with that. We should probably have a date on our screen somewhere. Thank you, Timber, for the $20 super chat. Thanks for the life-saving coverage, Max. We appreciate you in Kentucky. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the very generous super chat. Hey, Storm Chaser for the $10 super chat. Keep it up, buddy. Get you some caffeine. It's going to be a long 5 days. You got this. It's going to be a long 5 days. Again, I can't believe, like, this happened today, and I've literally had, like, no sleep. I'm surprised we even went live. Man, I can't stress enough. Like, I get, like, 2 hours of sleep for one night is fine, but, like, it's literally been the last, like, 4 nights I've had combined, like, 17 hours maybe. It's bad. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, I think the storm is actually trying to cycle again. If you take a look at it on reflectivity on the storm near Covington, Oklahoma, it is starting to hook again. Does look like it's getting more of a precipitation core in its RFD region. This should probably try and produce a tornado again, unfortunately, as it moves towards Orlando, Oklahoma.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So we'll have to watch this really closely in case it does cycle. Got multiple storm chasers still on this storm. And I mean, obviously, if this does produce again north of Oklahoma City, this storm is very dangerous right now. Hey, Donna, for the $50 sewer chat. I really appreciate that. Hey, also Michelle for the sewer chat. Miami, Oklahoma checking in. Should Kendall and Nathan put their 65cc dirt bikes in the shelter this evening? I mean, I would out of precaution. I don't think it hurts. It'll be mostly a wind threat by the time the storms get to you. Weather analyst, LOL. Well, Riley's also a water major, so wow, really fancy, I know. Bro has a degree in water. Not yet, but he's going to pretty soon. This is a live shot right now of this storm. Well, it was a live shot. Now it's just a loading screen. This is... Oh, everybody's a loading screen. All right, well, I guess we'll wait a second. Everybody's stream's died. Nice. All right, we'll just go back to this view for a second. There is a... There are chasers still on this storm here, and there's several chasers that are pretty close to that area of interest right now that's developing. See if any of them come back. But right now, there's like multiple chasers on the south side of the hook, and this, again, could become tornadic again as it goes southeast. All these other storms over here north and west of Tulsa, I think, are mainly wind. All right, the tornado threat, I think, is pretty low. I think it's mainly a damaging wind threat. Over near Kansas City, a lot of wind. There's a little bit of convergence that's trying to happen here near Gardner. So we could still have a low tornado risk going towards Aubrey and Belton. So we need to watch that. Everything else, for the most part, in Missouri is predominantly wind. I don't see any, like, strong areas of rotation. Granted, we have, like, a little rotation near Richmond, but it's not enough for a tornado warning. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning also near Trenton for 60-mile-per-hour winds. There's also a new severe warning with a tornado possible tag over here northwest of Davenport. So we got all sorts of thunderstorms going up right now out here in eastern Iowa too. And they're also producing some wind and maybe even a possible tornado threat. So we need to watch that too. Let me see if we have a view of this storm now. Thank you, Trudy, for the $20 super chat. Tornado page, he's looking at it. You can see the scud there on the left. Yeah, look at all the little motion there. me see. Can we get? Let's go to Storm Intermedia full cam.
Yeah, see how it wipes your convection like completely.
See all the scud
Arkansas
underneath the storm.
Yeah, they're not gonna get. I really don't think it's gonna be Arkansas.
But if you look at your 850,
Hey, Queen, for the $20 super chat. Thank you for keeping people safe and broadcasting
Look at where your
life-saving
850s are.
info. Do you try to get some sleep after the storms die down? Oh yeah, I will be.
your 850's over here. There's no 850 over here.
Yeah, but and then there's no instability in Arkansas. Oh man. Yeah, right now if the
Hey, Adams,
triple
we're
R is
becoming a
right,
member.
your boundary, like.
And that little scud there is kind of the area of interest. Tornado Pagey is also driving up to it right now.
Scud on it.
We had several storm major, so wow, really fancy. I know. Bro has a degree in water. Not yet, but he's going to pretty soon. This is a live shot right now of this storm. Well, it was a live shot. Now it's just a loading screen. This is... Oh, everybody's a loading screen. All right, well, I guess we'll wait a second. Everybody's stream's died. Nice. All right, we'll just go back to this view for a second. There is a... There are chasers still on this storm here, and there's several chasers that are pretty close to that area of interest right now that's developing. See if any of them come back. But right now, there's like multiple chasers on the south side of the hook, and this again could become tornadic again as it goes southeast. All these other storms over here north and west of Tulsa, I think are mainly wind. All right, the tornado threat I think is pretty low. I think it's mainly a damaging wind threat. Over near Kansas City, a lot of wind. There's a little bit of convergence that's trying to happen here near Gardner. So we could still have a low tornado risk going towards Aubrey and Belton. So we need to watch that. Everything else for the most part in Missouri is predominantly wind. I don't see any like strong areas of rotation. Granted, we have like a little rotation near Richmond, but it's not enough for a tornado warning. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning also near Trenton for 60-mile-per-hour winds. There's also a new severe warning with a tornado possible tag over here northwest of Davenport. So we got all sorts of thunderstorms going up right now out here in eastern Iowa too. And they're also producing some wind and maybe even a possible tornado threat. So we need to watch that too. Let me see if we have a view of this storm now. Thank you, Trudy, for the $20 super chat. Tornado page, he's looking at it. You can see the scud there on the left. Yeah, look at all the little motion there. Let me see. Can we get let's go to Storm Intermedia full cam. Hey, Ben, for the $20 super chat, my little part to keep this going. Appreciate that. It's going to be used for probably coffee. All right, while we only have one tornado warning, I do want to quickly talk about something that I went to. So obviously I went to Creator Summit. I'm going to talk about this more in probably a different stream when we don't have, you know, all these tornadoes happening, but maybe tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to be live tomorrow, but just a couple cool things that I got here from YouTuber Summit. This is like an invite only sort of thing, but I actually got a Max Velocity YouTube like coat, which is actually pretty sick. So I got this like coat thing with Max Velocity on it. So that's pretty cool. I got like a pair of shoes. So they gave me like red shoes for YouTube. And I also got like a straight up YouTube like jacket. So, you know, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I met a lot of people. If you guys want to see like more stuff about the whole Chaser Summit stuff, it's on Facebook and Twitter. I think I posted something on YouTube too, but I met like people like Marquise Brownlee. I met Cypher PK, Courage JD, if you guys know who those people are. A few other people too. So if you want to check that out, it's on socials. Sambucha too. A lot of popular creators were there. Is that the YouTube rare gift? Well, I mean, you had to go to the summit to actually get it, which again, it was an invite only thing. Do you meet Valkyrie? She was not there. Huge shout out to Alex with the $500 super chat. Spam W's for Alex in the chat. That is insane. Huge spam in the chat for Alex. Really appreciate that. especially after this really long day. I've had 2 hours of sleep since 8 a.m. yesterday, which is actually insane. I've basically been up for almost 40 hours straight or something, almost. Huge shout out to Jeffrey with the $50 super chat. Hopefully this covers at least 10 more copies. Thanks for keeping us awake or staying awake for us. And thank you in advance for all the work you'll do in the coming days. It's going to be a very busy next few days. I really want to remind you guys, like, obviously, today's not done. I mean, this storm still might become tornadic and produce again. But keep in mind, we got a lot more severe weather coming up. Tomorrow is going to be kind of a lower end day. It's not going to be as significant, but we got a slight risk down here in the lower Mississippi Valley. Marginal threat in the Ohio Valley and Deep South. Saturday, I think, will be another big day of severe weather, and it's basically in the same exact area that we're talking about today. So like Enid and Tulsa and Wichita, all hazards possible. Sunday should be pretty significant too. I think Sunday and Monday will be the worst days. Sunday with an enhanced risk right now in Oklahoma. footage. If you guys do have any photos and videos, you can scan the QR code, go to reports.maxvelocitywx.com. If you guys want to see a picture of the Enid Supercell, so we might even have a central plant. Hard to tell. Thank you for sending this in. This is from Rick over in Newton, Kansas. I think this is our land spout earlier. We did have a land spout over here earlier. Storm Chaser Nathan Moore. Or had it, actually. Wichita, Kansas. Photo there. This is a photo, a little drone shot from Des Moines as the storms were getting a little bit closer. We had a few tornado warnings there in Des Moines earlier. Got a really impressive looking storm out here in Wichita from earlier, too. Tall cumulonimbus clouds. Shelf cloud, Warren County, Iowa. Really impressive storm shot here from Brittany over in Piedmont, Oklahoma. Riley has a more urgent update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, looking at the storm near Perry, Oklahoma. It's starting to clear out its inflow notch, and the couplet is strengthening quite a bit. I do expect a tornado warning here for the town of Sumner and Morrison in Oklahoma.
Alrighty, thank you, Riley, for the update. So that is definitely not something that you want to see. The storm is again trying to organize, and there might be a new tornado warning coming here soon. It's been a very dangerous storm so far. Right now, it's producing tennis ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Storm under media? What are they looking at? They're on the south side of the storm. There's a boatload of lightning with this thing. It is wild. Hey, Benjamin for the super chat. Have you ever fallen asleep midstream? No. Thank you, Shannon, for the $20 super chat. You should try Dutch Bros Coffee. They're local in Florida. I appreciate that. I actually haven't, but I might at some point. All right, we got more photos and videos. Apparently, there's some more wild ones here. This is from Wichita, Kansas earlier of a really beautiful storm structure. And then this is another photo from Wichita. Wichita had some pretty crazy storm structure here today. The blue sky is honestly like so cool when it comes to severe weather days. It's more fascinating to look at a supercell when we have like open sky and not milky skies, because a lot of the time it's milky and you don't get to actually see like all the edges and stuff like that and see up into the storm. This is from Alfalfa County, Oklahoma. This is the picture of the Enid supercell. So this is the one that produced the tornado emergency. Pretty cool. This is in Enid, Oklahoma. This is a view from, I believe this is literally from downtown Enid. They could see the tornado from a distance, which is wild. This is another video 20 miles south of Enid. They could see the tornado from 20 miles away. That's wild. It's from Edmond, Oklahoma, of a large overshooting anvil and a bunch of cloud lightning. Oh my goodness. This is from Enid too. Wow. This is a photo from Enid. This is from the Vance Air Force Base. No shot. Somebody was literally filming the tornado from the Air Force Base. This no, it's a photo. It's a wow. It's a photo from Enid. This is from the Vance Air Force Base. No shot. Somebody was literally filming the tornado from the Air Force Base. This is I mean, just insane footage. This is another one. This is from the Enid golf course. It's wild to me that there were people standing outside. Outside trying to look for this. I get it was a slow moving storm, but like hey, Wrath for the $10 super chat. Made it through the storm in Enid. Thank you for your coverage. Appreciate the super chat. I'm glad I could help. That's just insane footage. If you guys do have any photos and videos, you can scan the QR code video there for all. But near Perry, quite a few times. Biolist for the $20 super chat. Thanks for keeping us informed. Lots of lightning north of